I got to hit that unmute button. Welcome into Before Floor, an extension of 5 on the Floor here on the 5 Reasons YouTube channel. I'm Ethan Skolnick. Follow me, Ethan J. Skolnick, and at 5 Reasons Sports. We got Ricky J. Mark. You can follow him at Ricky J. Mark. Jonathan Ramlakan, you can follow at 3-Piece Combo. Our producer, Alejandro Villegas, who just got finished with the Spanish language preview. Check that one out on the channel as well, along with Ricardo. And also our friend Brady Hawk, who is somewhere near me here. I'm actually sitting near the press conference room here, so maybe I'll announce my retirement. We are sponsored, as always, by Biscayne Bay Brewing, the official beer of the 5 Reasons Sports Network and of the Miami Marlins. You can also find it here at the kiosks at FTX Arena at the 100 level and 300 level. This is great locally brewed beer. You can try the Tropical Bay IPA, the Miami Pale Ale, and all the other great beers at many local restaurants and also many local supermarkets here in South Florida. And, as I said, at FTX Arena as well. Also, our friend Mark Brown, he's at the Panther game tonight. What's that about? MARCBrownPA.com, the man with the plan. He's got an estate plan for you. Well, he'll work with you on it. You tell him what you want. He'll give you the forms. He'll go through the entire process. Make sure that you're doing this. This is as important as anything else that we advertise here on the network. 954-566-5678, 954-566-5678. MarkBrownPA.com. He's based in North Lauderdale, but he can help you throughout South Florida. So reach out to our friend Mark. All right, let's do this. Tony Schwartz has joined us too, so we got a full house tonight. Greg will be on post-game with Brian Fonseca tonight. Greg's not available for pregame, but we'll go through this anyway. So somebody's going to have to be the hopeless optimist here tonight. But before we do, Brady, who's in and who's out?
Yeah, still no Kyle Lowry. For Miami, which was kind of expected. But a total different look for Boston now. Marcus Smart's going to play, Al Horford's going to play, and Derek White is now not going to play. So I understand what the implications here, specifically with Marcus Smart defensively, but this idea that, like, he's the greatest defender ever, that if he touches anybody defensively that they're going to score 0 points is just crazy to me. Like, some things you're scrolling through down the timeline. Jimmy Butler's still going to be able to find gaps and still be able to score. But it changes some of the coverages. I think we see a little bit more switching from Boston than I think we originally expected, because now they have a trusted guard up top that can basically guard so many different positions. They're going to possibly have some drop in there with Horford or Tyson there, because they're probably going to split minutes. So still opportunities for Tyler. And then on Miami side, everything stays the same. But I do think they do probably play a little bit more drop just after seeing kind of what happened last game and being two bigs down low now with Robert Williams and Horford probably. They're going to have to play some more drop.
Yeah, Jimmy Butler is shooting 71% over the last 2 seasons with Marcus Smart guarding him. That seems high. So I don't know about the freak out here, although obviously you're better off with him than Derek White defending. Derek White, by the way, should be back for the next game, apparently the birth of his child. So this was somewhat expected that he wouldn't be there tonight. But I guess what this does mean, Jonathan, is Peyton Pritchard's going to play again, and I feel like the Heat like that because they hunted him in the last game. Obviously, if Smart's going to play heavy minutes, then Pritchard might not play heavy minutes, but he's going to have to be on the floor. How do you like the matchup setting up tonight for Miami? And also, if there's more Horford, there's likely less Grant Williams, who obviously somebody you got to worry about at the three-point line. Maybe less Robert Williams, who hurt them early in the last game.
Yeah, I think it's going to give a different look for Miami. Like Brady said, they're probably going to switch up that defense a little bit more. But I like the opportunity that Miami has tonight. I think with Peyton Pritchard getting a couple more minutes, Jimmy is going to be able to hunt him. You know, we saw just how many times the turnover jumper around him, he was just able to bully Peyton Pritchard, get him in the paint. And the more you're able to do that and the more you're having to have other defenders help off of them, Jimmy Butler is going to be able to make the right play. He's been assisting on really high numbers as well, and hockey assisting too. So I think Miami's going to do a very good job attacking that Boston defense. I think the first half is going to be a little bit kind of what we saw in the first game. They're going to have to see what adjustments they're going to have to make from that first part. But the good thing is they had these preparations coming into game one, and they got through off in game one. Now they're going to use that preparation better for game two. So I think Miami comes out a little bit better prepared on both ends because they're going to know how to attack that defense of them, and they're going to understand how to guard as well.
They say, and I think incorrectly, this is a Pat Riley phrase, Ricky, that's been repeated by many, that a series doesn't start until the road team wins a game. Lots of series have ended before the road team won a game because they ended 7 with both teams winning at home. So this is one of the Riley-isms that I've never really completely understood. But it does feel like the task for Boston was to get one down here, especially without Horford and without Smart and then and now you have them, and now we weren't really expecting. Horford obviously apparently has the best COVID testing in the world because he went from out to questionable to playing before the game started. But really, this was about getting one, right? So, I mean, this changes the series if Boston wins tonight.
Well, absolutely. Two things. One, I'm more focused on another Pat Riley saying that has been popularized on the Winning Time HBO Max series. I'll let y'all go and Google that. This is a family show, so I won't repeat it here. Has to do with Boston and a very inappropriate act. I'll just leave it at that. The second one, I'm convinced that Al Horford probably has LeBron's testing facilities on speed dial because he went from having it to two tests to not having it. I mean, I'm not sure the vaccine is that effective, but hey, all right, whatever. Just don't get my guys sick. That's all I'm saying. But, it's true. The objective is not yet out of reach if you're Boston. The reality is, if you're a team like Boston, which has proven themselves in more ways than one, especially against the formerly defending champion Milwaukee Bucks, all you need is one win. And you take care of business in Boston, finish your games and close out the other team, and you could win this series in 6 now, right? So I think right now Boston is like, yeah, okay, Horford is back. He was a game changer last time around against Milwaukee. He's here now. We still don't have Marcus Smart yet, but we did learn a few things from game 1.
Well, no, they do. They do have Marcus Smart tonight.
Oh, he's back tonight.
Yes,
excuse me.
Yes,
I'm sorry.
That's why everybody is celebrating. He's going to shut Jimmy down tonight.
Yeah, I was more focused on getting my super witty comment out that I must have skipped over the Marcus Smart injury report. I apologize. But yeah, no, really, like even so, look, I think at this point, you're like, okay, let's reset the clock to 0. Game 1 was a mulligan that we wished we didn't have to give them. But at this point, it's like, all right, let's get the split, go back to Boston, put some pressure on them, win game 3, put them down 2-1, put a little more pressure on them by winning that other home game. And next thing you know, you're up 3-1 after 4 games? That's usually how the math works. So I think Boston still feels pretty good right now. The road to 270 is still pretty clear if you're the Celtics. And Miami, I believe, contrary to what my own personal group chats will have you believe, I do believe that this is a must win for Miami without question.
Tony, there becomes this question: can Jimmy do this every night, right? And if he doesn't, then who picks up the slack for him? Strus played well in game 1. Vincent hit some big shots in game 1, but also we still been waiting on the hero breakout, but we kind of saw some of it in game 1. Like there was a comfort level there, particularly him getting to the floater, which is something that we had Mark Jones on the podcast, and he talked about that specifically, that he spoke to Drew Hanlon a couple days ago and said the floater is going to be a weapon for Tyler in this series. Is this the game that he takes more of the burden, or should we expect Bam to take more than 4 shots?
No, it's on Bam for me, I think. And tonight, if we're throwing out Riley-isms, here's a Spoism. It's a Spocess today. That first half, like Brady talked about, is going to be figuring out a lot of what Boston is doing to us defensively. And guess what? Jason Tatum didn't play his best game. He didn't show a lot of effort relocating off of balls. He did not find the first pass quickly enough when we trapped him above 40 feet. He's going to come out with some effort tonight. All right. And Marcus Smart is an incredible ball handler, so they can get him off ball a little bit better. He's a better ball handler than Peyton Pritchard and everybody else they were throwing at us. So we're going to get a Celtics team tonight that's going to present us with a lot of effort that's trying to split right now so they could take us back to Boston, like Ricky said, and try and get another one. Miami has to be ready to face that in the first half, that pressure, that effort that Boston's going to throw. And Bam has to assert himself in the lane, or else we are going to get no kind of spacing in the middle of the floor for Tyler to create. I mean, good luck with those 2 bigs up there, So Bam has to try and get a way to get a defender on his hip. And for me, the only way for him to do that is to initially out the gate, show that effort and drive to attack the rim. So if he starts posting up high, they're coming out there to him.
Brady, the Bam conversation, we've had this one 100 times. But does Horford's presence make things easier or harder for him than, say, playing Robert Williams 30 minutes?
Well, I think we're going to probably see Horford and Robert Williams tonight. So I'd say it makes it probably harder because there's the Grant Williams aspect. Yes, he's a great defender. He saw Bam a lot of the time, but there's still the outlet of saying just post him up. Like that feels like it for so many times, but that's just not what he is at this stage He's just not a true post-up threat. But I think the key is he kind of has to be a post-up threat at times, and it's not that he has to post up a Robert Williams or post up an Al Horford. It's that if the Celtics are switching more like we expect, there's possessions even last game where Jaylen Brown was just on him in the dunker spot, and they weren't even feeding him. Like, he has to seal, he has to get the ball, and those are the times when he has to try to score. The 4 shots, like, I know that is an important aspect. They won, and there's different elements to it, but it's more about the times he picks his spots. It's not just about that final number. It's just when you have that switch, you have to say, like, give me the ball. There's obviously a disadvantage at the top of the key. And I think there's going to be a turn in terms of not a full-out double on Jimmy, but they're going to give him a lot more attention in this game. They're going to hedge over a whole lot more. They're not going to let him get to the basket as easy. Bam kind of has to be the release valve. Like, I think I'm picturing PJ Tucker in his floater in this game that I think is going to be utilized a lot. But Bam as a roller, as a threat off the ball, just getting the ball and kind of going off the dribble, they're going to need that in this game if Jimmy's seeing the attention that we expect.
We talk about Tatum, Jonathan, but it was actually Tatum had the first half and didn't do anything in the second half. Jaylen Brown did nothing in the first half. And then, I don't know, he sort of picked up some cheap points late. I felt like he padded the stats. I appreciated that because I had him over on Prize Picks. By the way, prizepicks.com, use the code 5, FIVE, get your initial deposit matched up to $100. The Jimmy number's gone up to 25.5 there on points. So much for the days of getting 20.5 or 21.5 on Jimmy. But it does feel like, I mean, for Boston to beat Miami, even with Smart there, it does feel like they need both Brown and Tatum to be playing, at a high level with high efficiency, right? So the Jalen matchup is mostly on Jimmy. The Tatum matchup seems to be on Tucker and a whole bunch of other guys. Do you think they hold him down again?
I don't think you hold him down the entire game. I don't think those are guys that you can just lock him down for the entire game. I think we saw last game, Jason Tatum had a good half, and then he had a half where he struggled. Same thing with Jaylen Brown. Like you said, it was the fourth quarter where he got those cheap points, but he was still starting to get in a little bit of a rhythm. So I can see Miami at times where the rotation is in and out, and you have a couple of bench guys in, you have a couple of starters in, and it's not so much as that meshed unit. They're going to have a couple of shots. They're too good of offensive players to not score a lot. But I think that Miami is going to do a very good job containing them tonight. I think Miami is going to try to make everybody else beat them. I think Brady really showed the adjustments that they made to Jason Tatum in the second half. Just kind of like wall him up a little bit more, making the ball get out of his hands and make them make more decisions. I think Miami is going to have to force them to do that. They're going to still score at some point. I think Miami is going to be able to contain them and make them rather inefficient throughout most of the night.
Also, Robert Williams can't outscore Bam in the first half. That can't happen.
Right. Well, no, that's true. And look, everything for Robert Williams was sort of easy on that pick and dive, consistently. But if you're letting him get to the rim, if the backside help's not coming, that's going to continually happen in this game. All right. One other thing I do want to address here. A lot of people have asked about Kyle Lowry today. We've repeatedly said we didn't expect him to see him at home in these two games. I'm going to hold to this. I think I'm going to say what I said in the last series, although I was wrong. I got to think they wait until they lose, honestly. I would not put him in until he's close to 100% or until they lose and they need it. For right now, I would just hold him out and just roll with Gabe here. But let's get to another rotational issue here, Tony, and then we'll get to the picks. I saw Duncan Robinson shooting a pregame. He made about 20 straight threes. But Spoelstra's not even giving him the token minutes now. Right? I mean, this is a Caleb series, right? For limited minutes?
I hope so. I don't know what Caleb did to Erik Spoelstra. I'm not 100% sure why I haven't seen more of him. But look, in my eyes, whatever Spo feels like he owes these guys, the guys that brought him there, like Strus has got him to this point, you cannot play around in this matchup. Spo has to come off of some of those tendencies that he has. If Max is not hitting that shot and providing that spacing early on, I think you go right to Duncan. You have so many shooters to slide through here. You have to get somebody to throw at this team that maybe the scouting report picks up. Ricky's shaking his head. No, I get that. I really do. But there's just not, you don't have the margin of error. You can't be down 20 points at half with this Boston team. You could do it with the other one, but there's no margin of error tonight. You have to be effective at doing the things that you do, and spacing and trying to create easy offense is one of those things. So I would just rotate shooters so you find somebody that's hitting.
Brady, is there any way that you could play Duncan without him getting hunted by Tatum and Brown? I guess that's the issue, right? No.
No, that's it's not even about the shooting ups and downs. Like it's just the defensive element that if you start
Right.
switching and even if you go drop and you have to fight over a screen, it's the paint and pressure to Miami. Like Tyler can do enough that you can help over. Duncan is just a threat of just kind of racking up too many fouls.
All right, let's
But
get
just
to
give
the
me
pick.
Caleb then. Just give me Caleb then. That's all.
No, I'm with you on the Caleb minutes. Caleb's first 2 minutes, he always makes his presence felt. I would like to see 2 stints instead of 1, but we'll see where that goes tonight. All right, let's get to the picks. And again, we mentioned PrizePicks.com. Use the code 5. We're also telling you about something new here called Better Edge. That's BETTOR edge.com/5 reasons. Go there for social betting. Okay, we're going to be telling you more and more about this. We've got some videos that have been going up from our guy J-Rod and also from Shard Rochester and others. So check those out. Again, it's betteredge.com/5 reasons. Okay, so check that out. We're going to have a lot of content there as well. That's kind of our new place to gamble. It's different from Prize Picks. It's not player props that we're doing there. It's team related, and they got all our 5 on the floor content. Also, I did want to say one thing. I want to thank everybody. 5 on the Floor is now a top 25 NBA podcast in the country by downloads. One of only 4 locals, I guess, in the top 25, Brady, I think. Coincidentally, the others are the top podcasts of the Mavericks, the Warriors, and the Celtics. So it seems like the teams that are playing are getting a little bit of bump here, so the Heat have had something to do with this. But let's get to the picks. And again, pace and space at halftime, post up 5 hour after the game, and also 5 on the Floor after the game, which Greg will be hosting. I'll go to you first here tonight, Jonathan. Go ahead.
I'm going to take Miami. I think that it's going to be a very close game. I think Boston is going to come out really desperate, especially not to go down 0-2. I think the Miami is going to have to win on the margins tonight. Like, they're really close. This is a very closely matched up. They have 2, in my opinion, better offensive players as far as Tatum being a 3-level scorer, and then you have Jimmy here as well. But when it goes past that, Jaylen Brown is far and above better than anybody else as far as a scoring part in Miami. I think Tyler Hero can kind of do that, but he doesn't have that tough bucket getter. He'll make more tough shots. The margins as far as the turnovers and the second chance points is going to be what controls tonight's. Miami, you saw in the first quarter, got a lot of turnovers early. That could have been a little bit of rust from having that extra time, but we can't get out and start turning the ball over against a very fast-paced Boston team that wants to get out and run. So I think Miami is going to get it done. I think it's going to be a very close margin. I think we're going to have to see a little bit more aggressive from Bam, especially attacking Al Horford. I know he's a good defender, but in my opinion, I still think he can. He has that speed advantage, and he can try to drive past him. And I think Miami gets it done.
42 points in the paint for Boston in the last first half, which is a ridiculous number. Miami shut it down in the third quarter. Tony?
Yeah, I'm not coming on this show after being off for a week and picking anybody else but Miami for my own mental health and sanity. I think that this comes down to just understanding that those margins of errors, like Jonathan just said, are really tight. So you have to find ways to create more possessions, less rebounds for your own team, and not shoot yourself in the foot with a shotgun with points off of turnovers. Like, that was just ridiculous. 42 points in the paint, ridiculous. So you limit that stuff and you play in 4 quarters, man. This is going to be a 4-quarter game. Be ready for a brawl.
Ricky?
Aren't they all 4 quarters? Anyway, no, never mind. Look.
Sometimes we win in 3, baby.
Oh, yeah, okay. All right, I'll give you that.
You can go to overtime too.
I don't think I'd rather not. I don't think.
Yeah, not tonight, please.
I don't think we see Kyle Lowry until Game 1 of the NBA Finals, if I'm being honest. So there's that. I think Miami is going to lose, if not tonight, Game 3. I'd rather they win today. I think they win today, but it's going to be a different kind of win. It's going to be a hard win, and it's definitely not going to be a 20-point win like what we saw the other game that eventually got a little closer, but cosmetically, however that works out. Like I said before, the road to the ring started a few days ago. It continues tonight. Miami wins, goes up 2-0, and then it's a whole nother ball game in Boston. I'm sure Tony Brothers and Scott Foster are on their way there right now.
He's already, yes, Scott Foster's already with his clam chowder at the moment. What do you think, Brady?
Yeah, I think you hit on one of the main points there when people are saying Miami won't have another third quarter like they had, and that's probably true. But the Celtics won't have a half like they did in terms of 42 paint points. They were 2 points away from having like a postseason all-time record in paint points. Like, Miami's adjustment's not going anywhere in that type of thing. I think in terms of players, I think this is a Victor Oladipo game, actually. Like, he was kind of quiet in the last one. I think there's some things to exploit in this series in terms of if they start switching more, he's a guy you put in isolation, just see what he can do. And obviously, he had kind of the defensive third quarter plays where he's diving on the floor. But I think Miami wins. I think this is probably a much tighter game. I think this is one of those things where we're talking about late game offense at the end, but I think we're kind of talking about it in a positive way where Jimmy gets to the line a couple times and they pull this one out.
All right, I'm going to go the other direction tonight. I agree that they're going to split the next two, but I think they lose tonight. I think this is a 7-game. I think this is a 7-game series. I felt that way from the beginning. I still feel that way, but I don't think the teams are going to win every game at home. These are tough-minded teams that can win on the road. I have some concerns tonight. Again, I come back to it. We talked about the late-game offense. I agree with you about Oladipo. I actually thought Oladipo was really good defensively in the last game. They pointed that out a little bit on NBA TV today, yesterday, and some of the things that he did. But I don't know. I feel like you're going to get a more well-rounded Tatum game for the entire game. And I think Boston squeaks out a win, and everybody says the series has changed. And then I think Miami goes up and gets a tough-minded win in Game 3. So I'm sticking to Miami in 7. But, to get to 7, you got to lose 3. So I'm saying one of those is tonight. All right, check out our sponsors, markbrownpa.com, Biscayne Bay Brewing, betteredge.com/5 reasons, prizepicks.com. Of course, use that code 5. Tony will be hosting Ace and Space at halftime with Sean and Marco. Also, Greg, postgame with Brian Fonseca. And check out Post Up 5R with Royal and the crew. Jonathan, you'll be on that one, right? Tonight? Ricky, you'll be on that one? Yay, nay? I don't know.
Yep.
We might see you guys. We don't know. Royal's like Spo. Like, try to get the lineup out of Royal. Like, the next day, he'll tell you who was on. That was it. So
that's why he's the GOAT.
That's there it is. All right, so check it out on Post Up 5R. And follow our Winnow feed, too, off the floor. We'll be on there tonight. Have a good night, everybody. Alejandro, take it from here.
All right, we're going to go ahead and listen to today's episode of 5 on the Floor with Mark Jones talking a little bit about the Eastern Conference Finals coverage for ESPN and all the national media, Jimmy Butler, and a little preview of this Game 2 of the series. Let's go ahead and listen to that as we get ready for Game 2 of this series.
All right, welcome back to 5 on the Floor. If you're listening and watching on the 5 Reasons YouTube channel, welcome in. Today's floor plan, I've got Alex Toledo. You can follow him at Tropical Blanket. And our friend who's back on the right coast these days, although you're not really on the coast. You're in West Broward. I don't know if that counts.
Yeah, I know. The coast of the Everglades, yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
I'm out here with the Gators.
You can find an Alligator and then head over to the Starbucks at Weston Town Center. You can find him, though, also at Mark Jones, ESPN. And, of course, he's doing the games, this series of the Eastern Conference Finals on ESPN Radio. You're actually 3 seats down for me, so I apologize for eavesdropping a little bit on you and Doris during the game, but I actually got a couple of ideas for this episode from a couple of things that you said there. So
okay, good, man. It's all fair material, man. Fair game, sure.
Well, it's public already, so I mean we might as well. So let's start here because we're gonna break down the series with you a little bit and what to look for in Game 2, what happened in Game 1. But I just want to start at the kind of the very beginning with something I heard you say last night as I was watching the game, which was something that you said Jimmy Butler had spoken to prior to the series, which is the idea that this, in a lot of ways, is his time, that he feels, like everything has kind of come together. Can you kind of reveal a little bit more maybe than you did on the air last night?
Yeah, just that, Jimmy, we all know that since coming to Miami, 2020, he kind of feels almost in a way that this is predetermined, predestined, that he go all the way here. Like, you can't tell him when you speak with him now that he's not going to win the NBA championship. And there's a single-mindedness about him right now that we see on the court that kind of supersedes everything that went on this season. And he basically is saying and telling me that, hey, this is as close as I feel like I've been to really being able to win it all. And he kind of feels like this is his time, the way that he's playing, the way that the team dynamic is functioning, the way that things are lining up in the playoffs. They've been tested. Outside of Kyle, they're relatively healthy. He kind of feels that the window is now. And, the way that he played yesterday at both ends of the floor really spoke to it. And this is not a blip on the screen. It's not an aberration, guys. I mean, he had 41 last night, but we've seen several performances like this from him before in the playoffs, and he's had a couple 30 pieces too. So when you see Jimmy Butler increase his scoring and take on that responsibility. It kind of bore fruit to what he was telling me earlier about this is just my time, and nobody's going to tell him that it's not.
He has more games of 36 points or more in the playoffs so far. He's only played 11 of the 12 games. He's got 4 already. He had 3 in the regular season.
Wow.
Which, and again, I know from being around the game a long time, it's kind of that Draymond Green quote. I believe it was Draymond that there are 16 game players, right? And 82 game players, and then there are 16 win type players. It seems like with the exception of last year, he's one of them. But I guess to follow on it, like, why do you think, because I know you've discussed this, and I know Heat fans feel you're one of the few people in the national space who actually understands the team, talks about the team. It's not just about, the Boston Celtics lost to themselves last night, like the Philadelphia 76ers did, like Trae Young did. Why do you think, in your opinion, that Jimmy isn't elevated to that status, maybe of some others, when he's done this consistently when it matters, and a lot of the others have not?
That's a great point, Ethan, guys, because I see it as plain as day. And I think you nailed it, man. Like, I think the reason why the national media, a lot of my colleagues at ESPN included, miss out on where Jimmy Butler should stand in the stratosphere is because his game is not sexy. It's just impactful. When you watch, when you saw what Luka Doncic did, for a contrast, in games 1 and 2 in that Phoenix series, sexy stats, they were down 2 games. For them to win, he had to actually change the way he played, if you really think about it. Long story short, when you look at Jimmy, he's not making a lot of those step back, sidestep threes with the guy hanging on him. His game it's like Splenda, no sugar, man. It's just like straight, right? It's a great substitute, even though it's not the real thing. And he's got the mid-range game to supplement it. And here's the key, Ethan, is Jimmy Butler last night. I said to the crowd, I said, he's playing better than anyone in the playoffs right now. And I don't know why anyone can't see it. Show me a stat line, not just the points, rebounds, and assists, the 41-9 and whatever it was, 6 or 5, 4 steals, 3 blocks. Who else is putting up, maybe Giannis from time to time, but outside of that, who else is putting up stat lines with that defensive variable in there? And his all-around game, I think it's because people at ESPN, national media, they don't see the game in the mud the same way that people that are aligned with the Miami Heat do. They appreciate defensive performance. I can't explain a lot of the analytics to you, but when a guy's able to stay in front of his man or stick his hand in the passing lane and blow up an offense by himself, there's nothing on the stat sheet that you get that says, oh, he blew up their offense twice. You got to see it. That's the eye test component. And Jimmy Butler is not an analytics type player. He's not an eye test type guy. And I think that's part of the reason why, when we put up graphics on ESPN says, of these 4 teams, who's the best player remaining? Is it Tatum? Is it Luka? Is it Steph Curry? Is it Jimmy Butler? For me, that was an easy one. That was Jimmy, and it wasn't even close.
Mark, so it's crazy that we're saying this about Jimmy right now. I think, after the playoff run that he had last season, a lot of Heat fans were down on him. We've been kind of having in our mentions people tweeting us that graphic of Bryn Forbes outscoring Jimmy Butler during that Bucks series last year, and people love to bring that up. And I think there was a lot of distrust ever since that, even throughout the regular season. Like, there was, I think, times where specifically in crunch time, Jimmy would do stuff that would piss off Heat fans, or like, take a questionable shot, and kind of the conversation starts to shift towards, well, are Bam and Tyler the next guys? Are those the guys that they should be kind of centered around? And to me, I always thought it was a little bit ridiculous, because as much as I appreciate what Tyler and Bam do, I think Jimmy has always been that guy for the Heat since he's been here. And especially after what he did in that bubble, like, I just think stepping it up ever since then, and kind of, they've gotten the Hawks in the first round. So Jimmy dominating them was kind of like, it's the Hawks defense. They can't defend. So that's one thing. Then you go to the Sixers, tougher team, where without Embiid the first 2 games, but even when Embiid came back, was going at him relentlessly after, AD and Giannis were guys who in the past have done a good job checking Jimmy. Embiid wasn't able to do that. The rest of the Sixers defense wasn't as great. Then you come to this series, everything is like, everybody's saying the Celtics are the best defense. They're the switch-heavy team. Is Jimmy going to be able to do this game by game? He comes out and puts together one of the most impressive performances that he's had in a Heat uniform in game one, right? And I think a lot of this is basically just to say that where are they without Jimmy, right? Because I think even though other guys had games last night, Jimmy has been that guy for them. And so my question here is he going to be able to do this for the rest of the playoffs? Is there any concern when it comes to the Heat's offense outside of Jimmy? Or do you think it's a thing of where it's like they need Jimmy to be this guy more often than not?
Yeah, I love the way that Jimmy managed the game last night. It was kind of Chris Paul-esque in that the first half he was engaged, but he wasn't a primary scorer. He didn't look like, appear like he was looking to score. And then in the third quarter, after being down at halftime, he came out and he put his foot on the gas and looked to score the basketball a lot more. You have to love the amount of free throw attempts that he got last night too. So I think he's more than capable of being that guy. And it's like what Ethan was talking about earlier. Players know, and it's kind of a sad thing. Like there are regular season players, guys that during the first 82 are going to get great numbers. They're going to look good. They're going to look like all-stars. But those 16 wins that it takes to win an NBA championship make games a lot different. And, you can have regular season guys, man, but, you're getting teams and players on the second night of back-to-backs, 4 and 5, whatever it be. But in the playoffs, it's different. And Jimmy, throughout his career, I mean, last year was, I think, an aberration. Last year, I think you can easily throw it out because of the way the schedule was. And, we're coming back from COVID and we barely finished up under the guise of normalcy at the end of it. Last year was just an aberration. I think Jimmy's that guy for the Miami Heat. And when you play a switch-heavy team like the Celtics, Miami, Boston are two switchiest teams in the NBA. I think Boston switches the most. Miami's right behind them in terms of switching. The risk is stalling out against switches. And Jimmy has that ability to drive the ball to his spots, either get into the paint, get a good look at the rim, or hit mid-range jump shots. That's always been who he is. It was interesting to hear his comments after the game talking about, I was 0 for 2 from downtown. Next game, my goal is to be 0 for 0. He feels like, hey, I don't need to shoot threes against these guys. I'm just going to play bully ball and put the whole squad in the weight room with free memberships. You know what I mean? So he can be that guy. I think I see it there. He wants to be that guy. And there's just a special elevation in this play that tells you that there are a lot more. I think there are a few more of these 35, 40-point games to come.
I want to ask Mark something about Erik Spoelstra when we come back on our podcast feed. But first, a word from our sponsors. All right, Ethan Skolnick back here with Mark Jones and also with Alex Alito. Mark, of course, is calling a series from here in South Florida for ESPN Radio, along with the great Doris Burke. People know how I feel about that particular broadcasting team, and I think a lot of our viewers feel the same way because you get an education. So if you want to listen to on ESPN Radio this week, make sure that you're doing that. I want to ask you about Erik, though. When did you first meet Erik?
Man, I've been down in South Florida for a long time, like late 80s, early 90s. I remember meeting Spo one of the first times, actually talking with him, getting to know him, playing basketball, pickup basketball at the Eden Rock Hotel. Like this would have been like 97 or something like that. Joe Vencius, our old producer with Heat Television, used to put together these runs at the Eden Rock on like Tuesday and Wednesday nights. And we'd show up and go up and down and get some buckets in. And Spo shows up, and I remember like him just playing with us with one of the guys. I'm like, oh, that's the video guy. That's the assistant coach with the Heat. Oh, he was cooking people too, by the way. He was still stroke that thing. But that was kind of the first time.
Mark, was he talking trash though?
He was confident. Erik kind of like, hey man, he would run and go get the ball out of guys' hands at times. I remember him doing that one time in particular when it was point game and it was time for either to keep going or for the other team to sit down. But he was really good. And that was kind of my first experience with Spo. And, I'd always see him around and talk to him a little bit when he was moving up through the ranks as video, then assistant coach, and now head coach. And I've always had the world of respect for him. And, people talk about this new wave. One of my colleagues at ESPN was talking about this new wave of former players being coaches. I put Spo in that group because he played collegiate basketball at Portland, and he had a pretty good resume there. So he's played basketball at a pretty high level, and he understands the player psyche, mentality, and the requisite tactics that come along with it all.
One follow on this. So I've observed, again, I got to know Spo starting a little bit in 1996, 97 when I started covering teams. So it was around that time. And then he got the head coaching job in 2008. And even though he took those first two teams to the playoffs with Dwayne and with all due respect to the others, not a whole lot else, right?
Right.
Got to the first round, got eliminated by Atlanta and to Boston. I apologize, UD. I didn't include you in that. But some of the rest of the cast, okay? He took him to the playoffs. It still felt to me like until he had the championship that to a certain degree, I always used to say that he was kind of wearing Pat's suit, like he was trying to kind of be the next Pat in a lot of ways. I really feel like over the last couple of years, like the real Erik Spoelstra that some of us know on the side has been more public now. It's sort of the snarkiness and the occasional cursing and that kind. Like I think people are surprised by this Erik Spoelstra, but this is kind of who he became, I think, over when he started to develop the confidence in himself, which I'm not sure he had at the start of, say, the Big Three era.
Right. I would agree with that. I think post LeBron, especially, whenever you are faced with profound new circumstances, it catalyzes growth. And I think the post LeBron era of Erik Spoelstra is something that you're alluding to, is where we see a little bit more of the innate personality and kind of shedding a little bit more of the Pat Riley-isms and, being out of the shadow of, the 4 years of LeBron and the Heatles and flexing his own coaching muscles and seeing a different side of him and seeing some of that personality. I think, I'll always say that he's easily in the top three. You could say that he's the best coach in the NBA. And, to be able to evolve and to grow to who he is now is really a credit to him. Anytime you work with Pat Riley, you're going to be profoundly impacted by being around him all the time. And you're going to take on some of those character traits and even potentially some of those character defects, believe it or not. But I clearly would agree with you that Spo is out of that large shadow right now of Riles and, 14 years as the head coach now and, started off as one of the youngest coaches. He's 51 years old now, has his family. And, he does a fantastic job that sometimes gets overlooked. It really does. And it's a shame.
So speaking of Spo here, I think last night was a really interesting game coaching wise, actually for both teams, because you mentioned earlier in the pod that the Celtics and Heat are two of the switchiest, switch heavy teams there are in the league. And last night we saw a whole lot of drop from both teams, actually, specifically from the Celtics. Right off the bat, they were dropping with Rob Williams. They were switching stuff off ball, but as far as kind of the big, they always had Rob Williams or Daniel Tice dropping back. I thought that was really interesting because it feels like it's gone completely away. Even though they've mixed in drop with Horford and Tice throughout the season, it feels like they got away from what made them so special defensively. So I'm wondering if that's something that reverts back to the normal in game two. And the Heat, specifically what they did, in the first half, they were just getting destroyed in the paint. Their interior defense is awful. It was 42 points for the Celtics in the first half in the paint, 6 in the second half. Really a story of two halves for both games. What did you see from Spo and the Heat that changed in that second half? Was it just being able to grind things out on defense, get out in transition, and that's how they juice their offense? Because to me, that's one of the biggest keys to this series, right? I think dominating, winning the rebounding transition turnover battle is how they can juice the half court offense that we've had concerns about. Was it all about that in the second half, or was it a Spo thing, or was it just more of kind of like an energy thing for the players?
I thought it was a little bit of an energy thing coming out of the locker room. I think they realized they had to play a lot harder. They hadn't been themselves. They were out of character in that first half. I think when you look at the guys that really alchemized them from mediocre to great defensively, it was Jimmy Butler. I mean, he spent most of the game guarding either Brown or Tatum. And, him being able to get those deflections, get those steals, get them out and running. And I thought that Jimmy actually pressing up a lot of times, and our team, the Heat team defensively pressing up, being able to turn over Jason Tatum a lot of times really had a big impact on their ultimate success. Everyone talks about Boston being a great defensive team, especially since January 1 and on, and well deserved. They've done a great job, but Miami, I think, ended up ranked fourth. I think it was defensively in defensive rating this year, so they're not far behind, and it's just a couple of percentage points, if that. So I think what we saw defensively from Miami in the second half is probably the true Heat. As for strategically going against Boston, which was in drop a little bit more. I think the reason Ime Udoka did that was probably because he was missing, Marcus Smart and Al Horford, which are, two key guys in being able to switch on to people a lot of times. So I think that drop coverage they used was probably a little bit of a safer bet for him. And depending on who comes back. Yeah. I think depending on who's available next game, they're looking at Horford not being back until game 3 or 4. Smart comes back, maybe to get back to a little bit of who they are defensively in terms of switching, and that can work. But then you look at, hey, they go hunting pigeons out there, man. They were hunting Peyton Pritchard, man. He was the number 1 pigeon out there last night, and man, they smoked that dude. I mean, Jimmy hunted him. Whoever was he was guarding was being put into screen action, and it was lights out. Oh man, they just went over and over and kept running that same old song, and that's going to force an adjustment by Boston, and how much Pritchard can play at the defensive end, because they're going to go right at him if that's the case.
Yeah, and they're thin to begin with. That's the thing. I mean, they're not as deep as Miami. Then you lose Horford. We are expecting Smart maybe for game 2, but they really only rolled 7.5 last night, and I don't feel like he wants to go really any further with that. We can see that's why I picked the Heat in 7, honestly, because I just see that wearing them down over the course. This reminds me a little bit, and we talked to Norris Cole about this, but it reminds me a little bit of when Doc would bring the Boston teams down here, and they were playing 6 guys by the end,
right?
Or when we saw Paul George, sort of fall apart in 2 game 7s in Miami because he had to carry so much of the load. I mean, Spo knows how to work your best player and get them to the point where they don't have it left at the end. And that was my reason for picking the Heat in 7. I think the home court and Spoelstra's ability to do that.
And I would agree with you. And, just back to, how Miami attacks them if they go drop, or even if they stay in a switch situation. The biggest thing that you have to face when you're playing a defense that switches a lot, Miami sees it a lot too, is you can stall out against switches. But if you look at the Heat, you guys have watched them play throughout the years. This year, always historically, I think they finished 2nd in points this year offensively off of cuts, 2nd in points off of handoffs, 3rd off of points off of screens. So they can always get to, secondary screening actions, pistol actions, and dribble handoffs. And, they've always got an answer for something, because there's a lot of versatility in the way that they play at the offensive end. And the one thing that really hasn't been Miami so far, the Miami that we've seen during the regular season, is their 3-point shooting. Number 1 in the league in 3-point shooting percentage. They haven't shot it well yet from downtown, and that's going to come at some point.
Yeah, and I thought Tyler got a little bit of a breakout last night overall with his game, and sometimes that bleeds into 3-point shooting. All right,
it's funny, Ethan. You mentioned Tyler real quick. Funny story. I was speaking to Drew Hanlon, his trainer, a couple of days ago, and I said just that. With Boston being so switchy, how does he not stall out at the offensive end? He said he's got a nice floater that I've been working on with him over the last couple of days down here in Miami. He came down and spent a couple of days. And lo and behold, Tyler had that impactful first half, right? That kind of kept the Heat floating offensively.
Yeah, no, and we've talked about the floater for sure. So I mean that is definitely something that he can get to. I think when I talked to him, he said, I hope they play drop. I'm a killer against the drop. And and they played a little bit, but you said, I mean, that floater's there for him regardless. I think the problem against Philly was, and Alex and Brady have touched on this on 5 on the floor, is they were sending the third defender in from the corners. So it's like, he's already seeing one.
Him.
Yeah, right. Blitzing him. So he's seeing 3. And he said, I said, is this a little bit, I mean, your ego, I mean, this is not a bad thing that they're paying you so much attention, right? And clearly by wearing the sleeveless stuff last night, it's getting to him a little bit.
He probably felt like Tony Kukoc at the Olympics when Michael Jordan and Scotty were all over him, right?
Yeah, or to bring up Norris Cole again, Jeremy Lin in Miami, right? Like, because that was the other one, or more recently, Trae Young against Gabe Vincent. But yes, there is this habit of guys having to try to break through in the playoffs. We see it. All right, we each got one question left for you. If you're here on the YouTube channel, just hang with us. On the podcast feed, a word from our sponsor. All right, last quick segment here with Mark Jones. Again, follow him at ESPN Radio this week, along with Doris Burke. They've got all of the games of the Eastern Conference Finals. He's right here in South Florida. I might bump into him at the Westin Starbucks. We'll see.
Yes.
Alex, I'll let you start as we close here.
All right, so I've got one rapid fire question for you. This is something that's kind of been going through my mind all day.
Sure.
Where does Jimmy Butler, Bam Adebayo, and PJ Tucker rank amongst defensive trios? Because I was thinking about it today, and I'm like, this is one of the most impressive trios I've ever seen. I know that's not something that, generally gets talked about a lot, but I was trying to think and do that thought exercise because, the Heat are filled with good defenders, so are the Celtics, etc. But those 3 guys specifically and what they do, I don't know that I've ever seen anything like it. So I'm going to defer to you and Ethan, who have a lot more experience.
You talking about just this year in the NBA or historically throughout the years? Defensive.
Take it back a little bit.
Yeah. Take it back a little bit. Wow. Defensive trios. Man, I go back to, I remember back in the day, the old Milwaukee Bucks when they had Sidney Moncrief. I'm old, man. I just turned 60, okay? Sidney Moncrief, Alvin Robertson was a killer on-ball defender. And I can't remember who the third guy might have been. I don't know that they really had a third on that squad. Golden State's been good defensively this year. They're ended up number 2, but, it's really Draymond and Clay still kind of regaining his form. I don't know that there's another third guy there. They do it kind of more systematically, but straight dogs, I mean, geez, there's not a lot. Historically, I don't know that you have the versatility of those 3 guys,
I would look at those, the 2 different incarnations of Pistons teams, maybe.
Isaiah, Joe Dumars.
Well, you could look at Joe. I mean, on that team, I mean, God, Joe Rodman, obviously. You have Rodman, you have Dumars. I mean, who else would we? I mean, I don't know that I would consider Isaiah to be an elite defender, like at that level. And certainly Aguirre and Dantley were not in that.
Oh no, one of those guys got traded just because of that.
For the other, John Sally, I think. I might look at the more recent Pistons team. I think you can make a case for Ben, Tayshaun, and maybe Chauncey.
Maybe Chauncey out top. Yeah, 2004. That's kind of close. I mean, obviously Michael and Scotty when they wanted to, sick the dogs on you. I think about some of those good Seattle teams back in the day. Gary Payton, Nate McMillan.
Yeah.
Some
of the Spurs teams with Kawhi and Tim together, even if Tim had lost a step,
But like we're talking about, it's mostly just 2, and it's hard to find that third wheel, like the Heat currently have with those 3 guys. I always say to PJ Tucker, every time I saw him, I told him yesterday, I said, PJ, I still can't believe, I'm going to say it again and during the call of the game, I still can't believe you've never made all NBA defense. I mean, think about that through the years. As good a defender he's been. Those times in Houston when he was virtually the only guy playing defense, never made one. So maybe there's hope for him still in Miami.
Wrong. That's just wrong.
I know.
Here's a stat for you. Jason Tatum attempted only 3 shots last night, missed them all with PJ defending him.
PJ. Yeah.
So, I
If you're the
mean,
Miami Heat, you got to hope that he's healthy and he's ready to bounce back in game 2 because his health is a big component, man.
I don't think it matters, Mark. He's playing anyway.
Hey, listen, here's my favorite PJ Tucker story. Okay. So last summer, I'm at Stan Remy's gym down by the airport, and he has a lot of NBA players that come in, and he trains a bunch of guys. He used to work out Dwayne. He's got Andre Drummond. He's got he's had Harden, a bunch of guys. So they're going 5-on-5 pickup, and Harden and John Wall are on the same team, and they're just wiping the floor with everyone. And PJ Tucker walks in the gym, and he's got a pair of beach shorts on and slides and a tank top. I swear it looked like he just came from the pool or the beach. Literally, he says, "Hey, Jonesy, what's up?" Literally 5 minutes later, he's dressed in his full gear, and I had been talking to somebody. I turn around, he's full court picking up James Harden like it's game 7 of the NBA Finals. I'm like, the guy's insane. He's got a different level of competitiveness, and it's amazing how it's not just when the lights are on and the TV cameras are on and it's playing NBA basketball. That's who he is, which is great. Those are the kind of guys that, Heat culture kind of tend to find all the time. It was wild. He literally took his shorts off and put on his, he didn't even warm up, Alex. He didn't even warm up. He went out there and he was playing. Yeah, I'm like, oh, that's how NBA guys really do it.
In the words of James Harden, PJ is PJ.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, Jimmy Butler said last night, he said, I never thought I'd fall in love with a basketball player until I met PJ Tucker. Probably got to get PJ to buy him more stuff now at this point.
I think Spoelstra said
There you go.
too.
I mean, Pat, are you aware of this story, Marcus? You share this on air, but this one has been out there. PJ has said that Pat pulled up to him in his car earlier this season and rolled down the window and said, "I love you," and rolled the window back up.
That sounds like
really,
Pat Riley. Yeah.
Seriously, if Pat could have traded half the players that he's had over the past 15 years just to have had the rights to PJ Tucker during all this time, seriously, he would have sacrificed them all. Okay.
Yeah.
But,
I bet. Yeah. Jimmy too. I mean, I remember Jimmy telling me how when he first came to Miami 3 years ago that Pat met him in the parking lot and said, "Come on, man, let's go to the scales to get weighed in." And Jimmy was all nervous about making weight. So they walk into the athletic training room and Pat gets on the scales and says, "Hey, that's 180, 185. That's me. That's my weight." And then Jimmy strips down to his underwear, takes his phone out of his pocket and everything, steps on the scale. He barely made it by a couple of pounds. And Pat was like, "Oh, that's pretty good. 220, that's pretty good."
Otherwise, contract voided. That's how that would have gone.
Yeah.
All right, last one here for Mark, and this is the most important question. If the Heat win the championship,
yes,
will your colleagues in the national media, will they actually acknowledge it, or will they just bring the trophy to Cancun to give it to give it to the Nets, Lakers, Celtics, Sixers, and Knicks? Are they ever going to acknowledge anything beyond? Because again, we sit here with you and we have an in-depth conversation about the nuances of this team. The conversation with others and even some of my friends in the national media is Heat culture South Beach. I mean, I don't even know what that is. I feel like people were going to figure out who Gabe Vincent was last night when the guy has literally started 30 games for this team. What is it going to I mean, are they ever going to get, or because I feel to a certain degree the Spurs were this way too, that it was always the team, the Lakers lost to the Spurs in the Eastern Conference Finals. They talk about them, or somebody else fell, or even the Heat were on the other side of it at that point. It was more about the Heat losing in 14 than it was about the Spurs winning. Does this ever change for this particular Heat group?
I hope that it does. And I've done my best to educate my colleagues about things that are all things Miami and all things Miami Heat. I think, frankly, it's lazy on their part a lot of times to just take the treetop approach to a team, to look at things superficially and say, it pissed me off to hear Stephen A. Smith deride Gabe Vincent and his talents when he was playing for Team Nigeria last year. He didn't know Gabe Vincent's name. And I'm like, come on, man. You're a national broadcaster, bro. I love you, but you got to know that. And you got to know his story. Because if you're national, I think it's incumbent on you that you got to dig even deeper into the local guys to know what you're talking about. And that's always been I don't want to sound immodest, but that's always been my approach. And, I don't think that nationally a lot of guys understand the Heat culture. They talk about it, but they're rarely in the gyms to experience it. They don't see the guys reporting early in the summertime and doing two-a-days at the practice facility, or see them playing pickup ball at Stan Remy's gym or Ronnie Taylor's gym in downtown Miami. I see all the Heat guys, so I know what they're doing. I know that, it's like the iceberg, right? They see the tip of it. I see the rest of the stuff that's underwater. And I would hope that at some point they take a deep dive into, they get to learn who Adam Simon is. They get to learn who Chet Kammerer is. They get to know who Andy Ellisberg is. And they already know Riley. That's the easy one. That's the lazy one. But I mean, get to know Andy Ellisberg, and then you'll understand Heat culture, a guy that started in the media relations department and worked his way up. So that's the model here. Adam Simon is a lifer. Chet Kammerer is the guy that's always unearthing all these great talents that come in our perfect fit. Duncan Robinson and Strus and Gabe Vincent, going all the way back to Ike Austin when he was an unheralded player and became a guy that got a big contract in the NBA, was a perfect fit. I think it's part of, unfortunately, our kind of Twitter culture. Guys don't really read and do homework anymore and spend time in the gym. I would bet you that of all the national guys that you see down at the arena tomorrow night pontificating about Miami, have never been in the gym and watched their players work out or even spoken to them. They're going off different internet reports. You guys on this podcast, I listen to you guys all the time. You do a fantastic job. You guys do your own homework. Ethan, I see you down at the gym all the time. So the information that you're garnering on Miami is organic. It's not third party, thank God, because then nobody would know what's really going on with this franchise.
Well, I always say this for everybody just to scream South Beach, South Beach, South Beach. Udonis Haslam is Mr. 305. He lives in Southwest Ranches.
He's my neighbor up here. He's my neighbor up here in Weston. I know. And I keep telling them, guys, stop saying South Beach. The South Beach is across 395 and 195. We are in Miami proper. We're on 8th Street and Biscayne Boulevard. The address is 601. I purposefully say that.
Why do they have to say South Beach? The arena is on the water.
There's a bay right there. It's Biscayne Bay. I know. It's become such a cliche. It's sad. I've for decades, literally decades, I've tried to educate my colleagues, man, but there's a new generation that keeps coming up that just doesn't get in. The old generation, I don't think ever really tried.
There's only one restaurant in the Tri-County area, and that's Prime 112. There's no, you can't eat anywhere else.
How about that? I asked to call. Someone asked me for a dinner reservation. I said, try Rosanella's on Lincoln Road, or the Red Rooster is a great soul food restaurant downtown near the old arena, which just opened up about a year ago during the pandemic. Try those ones. Forget about the beach. You don't need the beach. You don't need Prime 12, 112, or Prime Italian, or Prime Seafood, whatever. Just try some other stuff.
All right, final thing. I always want to ask this, but I'm just going to slip it in here, and then we're closing. Did they win the whole thing this year?
I still think Golden State is a little bit more versatile at both ends, but I'm foreseeing a Golden State Miami final and a 7-game series in that. And if you get that deep into it, don't hold me to saying that Golden State might have a slight edge right now.
That's okay. You're still allowed in Miami or Southwest Ranches or Weston or any of those other places because you can actually pronounce Max Strus's name. That's the litmus test, by the way. I've talked to Max about that. That's if you know something about this team, you have to be able to pronounce his name properly.
Hey, listen, I keep trying to tell my colleagues, okay, you want to try empanadas, you want to have some cafe colada, you want to try some arroz con pollo, and hit the Latin American grill, or stay away from the touristy spots. So I'm trying, man. It's hard though.
A lot of Celtics fans at Bayside last night. All right, Mark, we appreciate it. I guess that's the only place that they know to go. Mark Jones, ESPN. ESPN Radio with Doris Burke, who is also tremendous. One of these days, we're actually going to get her on here as well. And we appreciate everything that you do with us, and also obviously educating people on this little team here in South Florida that apparently just came into birth about a couple of months ago. Mark, thanks. Thanks to Alex.
How about Al? Ethan, can I just say one last thing?
Yes.
The whole thing about Miami Heat fans that they show empty arenas, it drives me nuts. It drives me nuts. I had to jam a couple people up in the national media about that. And my quest continues. I don't know if you overheard me yesterday. I said, who said Heat fans don't show up, huh? I mean,
I tweeted
it was a
Mark.
full building.
Oh,
did you? I got to look
yes.
for it. We were 4th in attendance this year. 4th.
Huh?
Yeah, we. End it there.
Oh, yeah,
End it
that's
there.
right.
That's it. You got all your points in. Thanks, Mark.
Okay, guys, that's right. See you later.
Mark.
All right. Thank you guys for staying with us here in the pregame show. Let's finish it. We're not ready. Game's not starting. I know it's 8:33 already, but you guys know ESPN, so they're not going to start the game yet. They're still in the pregame show. So let's go ahead and listen to Erik Spoelstra and what he said about tonight's game here on the Five Reasons YouTube channel. We're about
Areas is a Boston Celtics team that includes Marcus Smart and Al Horford different than from what you faced in game one?
This is the team that we were preparing for game one. It's good. You don't want anybody out due to testing or an injury. We don't want to duck any kind of competition.
On the general matter of in-game schematic adjustments, where do you fall on being proactive versus reactive?
I don't know. It really, like, that's so broad. It depends on the game. Depends on who you ask. I know it usually comes down to ball in the air, ball on the floor. Who's winning those big muscle areas?
Eric, similar to that, you had a lot of success over here a couple of years ago with the zone against this team. Switching seemed to have more of a positive effect against them last game. Do you feel good in that kind of defense? Yeah, I know you have a lot that you can throw at them.
Yeah, it depends. That team we had 2 years ago is totally different. So I don't even think you could compare it. It just depends on what's called for, in the game. The intensity and urgency and attention to detail was very good in the second half. It wasn't in the first half, and it was a tale of two halves.
Coach, this Al Horford situation has nothing to do with what I'm about to ask you, but you've dealt with, at times where coaches won't tell you who's playing, probably up late until tip, and then that happened with Philly. Is there a rule amongst coaches, like a decorum of?
Yeah, but not in these circumstances.
Mm-hmm.
Not in the last 2.5 years. In my mind, because we've been in this situation too. All year long, where I literally have no idea. On my side, who's playing. Due to protocols and testing and all of these things. This has been so uncommon. I think you just throw all that all out. It's not gamesmanship. I get it. I don't take anything, from it. Certainly not, because I've been on the other side. One of my games this year, when we had started to have everybody go out due to protocols, I didn't even turn my card in on time because I didn't know who was going to be available.
Obviously, the personnel in Boston is much different than Philly and in Atlanta, but it seems like Bam, no matter who you're playing or how you're defending, he's at the middle of what you do beyond just playing center. What does that speak to in terms of his ability and skill set to be able to change from series to series like he has?
Yeah, it shows you his commitment on that side of the floor. We have so many guys that are committed defensively, but for us to be the best version of our defense, it's in large part because of Bam and his toughness, his versatility, his size, his quickness, his ability to defend in any scheme. We feel like, the last 2-3 years, he could be in the conversation for Defensive Player of the Year, every year because of that. And this year, our team defense backed that up as well. So he's vital, to what we do.
All right, Coach. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, that was Erik Spoelstra talking about tonight's matchup. Again, game 2 of the Eastern Conference Finals. The Miami Heat won the first game of the series. Let's go ahead now and listen to Ime Udoka also talking about tonight's game. Boston Celtics head coach talking about the game and trying to get one here from Miami. Here we go. Ime Udoka coming live to you from the 5 Reasons YouTube channel. Here in a couple of minutes, we're going to start our Hangout. So stay with us. We're going to be doing this all throughout the game and also giving you guys the option to listen to Pace and Spaces during halftime and then leading you guys up to until the end of the game when you guys are going to be able to enjoy the post-up show. Let's listen to Ime Udoka coming up next now.
Good evening, and we'll take questions for Coach.
Ime, when you look at Max Strus, what kind of stands out about him as a player and his journey? And you've kind of talked about your own career as a role player and how you want to relate to those guys on your own team and build them up and things like that. Do you kind of see some of the things he and the Heat have done, building up those kind of guys as a model for what you want to do in Boston?
Yeah, I mean, he's obviously carved a niche pretty quickly. Strength of shooting, but he's not just that. He's a solid defender, especially for a quote-unquote shooter, and he's taking this opportunity and taking some time from some guys who are really good players that they were relying on. So shows their confidence in him. But always rooting for guys like that work their way up the hard way, and the impact he's having on their team is really evident. So happy for him, and he was in Boston at some point in time a while ago, and might have missed out on that one.
Ime, now that Al's back, can you explain what happened? Was it a false positive? Can you explain how that situation unfolded?
No, he passed all the protocols, passed all the tests, and I'm not a doctor, but he had to pass a certain amount of tests and league protocols, and so he did, and he was feeling fine from the get-go, and so happy to have him back.
Hey, mate. You said he was asymptomatic at the time of his test. What led him to get the test in the first place?
Well, I said he was feeling fine. He was always feeling fine, so meaning he didn't have symptoms, but felt good the whole process, and we're just following the league protocols, and we don't get into specifics with our guys as always, but he passed the amount of tests he needed to, and always was feeling fine.
Ime, what were the emotions like? Obviously, on Tuesday, you said it was just hours before. That was something you guys had to deal with as a team. What were the emotions like in getting Al back for tonight's game, too, as well as Marcus?
Obviously, a benefit for us, to get hit with that late news. We try to move on as quickly as we can and adjust rotation-wise and players stepping up. But, happy to have him back, Marcus as well. Unfortunately, Derek's out tonight, so we're still not full, but, happy to have 2 of our starting 5 back. And so for us, we try to move on quickly, and we did well enough at times. I talked about the poor third quarter, but, we did build a 13-point lead and had a good first half. So some of the, veteran calm that he brings, that those 2 bring, could have been needed in that third quarter. So looking forward to having that back.
In game 1, you guys played more drop coverage than you had in a while, and there wasn't a ton of, pressure from the big that was dropping back once they actually attacked. So when you get Horford back tonight, who's a very experienced defender, and just after going through the film, what things are you looking for, little pieces of attention to detail to try to help when you're dropping?
Yeah, well, it was across the board. I think we were too low with our bigs being too far back. We didn't want them that far back, and so the adjustment we want to make is being up, especially with Hero and some of those guys looking to come off and shoot. We can obviously switch certain matchups. We want to keep guys off balance, but our pickup point from the bigs was too low in general. So nothing that was intentional for us to be that low, and we worked on that, cleaned it up, and we'll be ready to go tonight.
Do you anticipate? I know you said he's feeling fine. Do you anticipate him being limited in any way in terms of minutes, or even having been? I'm assuming he's been in quarantine for a couple of days, that type of thing, or is it just kind of full go?
Full go. Thank you.
All right. Welcome, guys, to the 5 Reasons YouTube channel Hangout. We are ready to start our broadcast tonight. Remember, we're going to be here all throughout the game. So thank you to all of you that are joining us for this fun stuff that we do together. Thank you, Ron. How are you? What's good, Alejandro? Thanks for all you do, my friend. Thank you guys for staying and sticking around with us. Who's Derek? I don't know who's Derek. German King says, you can tell they haven't been watching the Heat closely. The national media is finally learning about Max Strus and Gabe Vincent. Alejandro Q says, tale 2 halves. 1 half watch and learn. Second half go in for a kill. Vannevar says, 305, let's fucking go. Xavier McDaniel says he's ready. ESPN hyping up Marcus Smart as defensive stopper. When all he does is flop for foul calls. Jackson Landry says, let's get it. And Martin says, do you think Jimmy will be a big scorer tonight? We'll see what happens. He's been one of the best scorers for the Miami Heat. And not only for the Heat, for the entire field here in the playoffs. First game of the series, Jimmy Butler scored 41 points. He led the Miami Heat and the entire game with 41 points. 9 rebounds, 5 assists, 4 steals, 3 blocks. So a great game for Jimmy Butler, followed by Tyler Hero with 18 points, 17 points for Gabe Vincent, 11 points for Max Strus, 10 for Bam Adebayo, 6 for Detman, and 5 for PJ Tucker. Victor Oladipo also added 5. Caleb Martin with 5 as well. Duncan Robinson didn't play. Markieff Morris, didn't play either. So let's go ahead. And let's put the score here up. It hasn't started yet, but let's do it. Share screen, and here we go. This is our screen. We're gonna have this set up. There it is, so we can follow whatever's going on during the game. All right, guys, let me know how do you feel about game 2. Most of the guys picked the Miami Heat. I said the Miami Heat is gonna win in 6 games. So why not just win this 2, then see what happens in Boston, and let's get the rest of them. But how are you guys feeling about this particular match today, particular game? Let me know here in the comments. Enter the Vortex says, let's go Heat. All right, Alejandro, Ron, Jermaine, all of you that are here already, please let me know what's your prediction for tonight's game. As we get ready here on the 5 Reasons YouTube channel, again, this is the Hangout. Who's going to be the X factor for the Heat? Well, we'll see. With Horford and Marcus Smart coming back, it's going to be a little bit of a different game, right? Derek White is not in either, so we'll see. All right. Enter the Vortex says, we win these 2. That means Boston has to win 4 of the remaining 5. Exactly. We were ready. Fernando Lopez, thank you. And we're watching here some of the pregame wired audios. Adebayo, Williams III, we're going to call him W3. And we're getting ready. We're almost ready. Here's the starting 5 for the Boston Celtics. Robert Williams III, Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum, Marcus Smart, and Al Horford. Marcus Smart, Jason Tatum, and they're back with their regular starting 5. The Miami Heat, Gabe Vincent, Bam Adebayo, Jimmy Butler, Max Strus, and PJ Tucker. PJ Tucker, Max Strus, Jimmy Butler, Bam Adebayo, and Gabe Vincent. That's a starting 5 for the Miami Heat. We have Jimmy Butler. Kyle Lowry is not back yet. Not available for tonight's game. We'll see when he's back. So for all of you Boston fans, and if you see them saying we missed a guy, well, the Miami Heat has been missing a guy for most of the season. So we know how to deal with these things. The Miami Heat win tonight in a low-scoring game. That's what we all thought. When this series was about to start, but that has not been the case so far. So I'm going to put my headphones on so I can get the arena noise going through my headphones. And here we go. The Boston Celtics are 3-0 following a loss. The Miami Heat are 7-0 at home in the playoffs. These are numbers for the playoffs. So we are ready to go. And let's get ready to rumble. The Miami Heat facing the Boston Celtics here in game 2 of the series. Here we go. Miami Heat ball. Gabe Vincent with the ball. I'm a little behind, so be patient. Let's go Heat chance. Gabe Vincent to his right. He attacks the basket. Finds PJ Tucker in the corner for 3. That's the first one of the night for PJ Tucker. For Alejandro, who's out for the Heat, Kyle Lowry's out. Not available tonight. He was not available for games 5 and 6 of the previous series against the Sixers. Marcus Smart for 3. I mean, if he wants to shoot that one, we can let him go. Jimmy Butler now with the ball. To his right, he attacks the basket. Deflection. Tucker gets it. Floater. And those are 2 more points for PJ Tucker. So there you go. He could be your X factor tonight. 5 points straight to start the game. It's 5-0 for Miami. That's a good sign. Tucker hits. Here comes Robert Williams III. W3, we're going to call him. Marcus Smart, kick it out for Jaylen Brown for 3. And he makes it. So, quick response for the Celtics. Miami Heat ball now. Bam Adebayo against Jaylen Brown. That's a good matchup, favorable matchup for the Heat. Bam, to his right, to his left. Misses. Rebound for the Celtics. Horford with it. Marcus Smart now. Great pass for Williams III. And that's 5-5 to start the game. Let me see if I can refresh here. And you guys give me your thoughts on the first couple of possessions for each team. We're going to try to refresh to see if we get a little bit more ahead now. All right. We have a foul call on Tatum. 2 assists for Marcus Smart to start the game. You can already notice the difference from game 1 and 2. Let's go Heat chance again. And here comes the Heat. Max Strus for 3. He misses. Rebound for W3. Jaylen Brown now attacking the basket. Double step. He misses. Hits the ball out. And it's Miami Heat ball. All right, we are live. Jimmy Butler kicks it out for PJ Tucker, attacking the basket. He gets blocked by Williams III. Rebound. I don't know if that's a rebound for Jimmy Butler. He gets his first 2 points of the game. But Miami Heat aggressive. And Butler getting his first 2 points of tonight's game. All right, great defensive play by... Oh, that would look like a kick. Another great defensive play, double team. Jimmy Butler with the 2-on-1. The pass for Max Strus. And that's out of bounds for the Heat. Jimmy Butler should have gone for that basket right there. All right, and here we go. We're back. Max Strus for Gabe Vincent for 3. And he makes it. So it's 10-5 Miami. So 5 points for Tucker, 3 for Gabe Vincent, and 2 for Jimmy Butler to start the game. 10-5 run for the Miami Heat. Totally different start for the Heat in this second game. They had a really slow start in game 1. Jason Tatum, he finds Al Horford for 3, corner 3, and he makes it. That's one of the guys that you cannot leave open. Al Horford making his first 3 of the series. Jimmy Butler now with the ball. To his right, to his left. Back to his right. Now he shoots. Jumper. That was a contested shot. And that's 2 points for Jimmy Butler. 12-8. Tatum. Back to Smart. Smart against Vincent. He gets it up. Great defense by Vincent. No good. The basket was not good, so rebound for the Miami Heat. Max Strus for three, and he makes it. Max Strus makes it 15-8 now for the Miami Heat. And the Celtics call timeout. So first timeout of the game, and it comes out of the Celtics bench. The Miami Heat up 15-8 at this moment. Enter the vortices like we are attacking the paint. Alejandro Q says Jimmy's spacing. And enter the vortex says Jimmy's a smooth operator. So great start for the Miami Heat so far. No Tomato says Marcus Smart. I don't know. He's making fun of Marcus Smart. So let's see the scoring leaders right now. PJ Tucker, 5 points. Jimmy Butler, 4. Max Strus with 3. Gabe Vincent with 3. The Miami Heat has made 3 out of their first 4 shots from the 3-point line. So actually having a great start from 3. The Boston Celtics have made 2 out of the first 3. So not a bad start there, but they're losing 15-8. The only other basket, one for Robert Williams III after a great pass by Marcus Smart. So those are the 8 points for the Celtics. Those 2 from Smart, 3 from Horford, and 3 for Jaylen Brown. So far, Jason Tatum has not even attempted any shots. And the same goes for Marcus Smart has missed 2. The only one that has not shot that yet is Jason Tatum in this first almost 4 minutes here in tonight's game. So here we go. And a little information from Tim Reynolds from the AP. Tonight's the 163rd game of PJ Tucker's career, and it's the first one that he's had 5 points in the first minute for PJ Tucker there. All right. Who else is here? Did you pick a name for the podcast? I think we're going with El Heat Podcast just to make it easy so far, but you can add us. Look, I'm going to add our usernames here so you can send us a little message or mention on Twitter so that way we get it. These are our 2 handles. This is my handle, Alejandro VG32, and Ricardo A. Montes is at Ricardo A. Montes. That's his username on Twitter and Instagram. In the playoffs, no, in his whole career, not in the playoffs. So he's never done it before. Not regular season, not playoffs. Never done it. El Calor Podcast, says Alejandro Q. That's another option too. I mean, we're still picking. We're still picking. So those are our handles. If you guys want to be part of that fun stuff, just send us a little message and we'll see. So El Calor and El Heat to the options there. All right, here we go. We are back. Game 2 of the Eastern Conference Finals. Miami Heat facing the Boston Celtics. Cultura Podcast. Another option. El Hittles Podcast. Michael Filias, thank you. We in airplane mode and lead by 7. Wait until we crank up the heat on these guys. The Celtics are panicking. Some of you guys' comments. Thank you, Alejandro. Enter the vortex. No tomatoes. Michael, Martin, all of you. Thank you. All right, Marcus Smart with the ball. 9 seconds left. Now to his left, attacking Max Strus. He goes for the left hook, misses. Rebound for Strus, and it's Heat ball. Here comes Miami. They've made their last 4 field goals. Max Strus now for 3 over Robert Williams, the third, and that's another 3 for Max Strus. 18-8. Jaylen Brown now fakes it. Too Smart. Back to Jaylen Brown. Still nothing from Tatum. Jaylen Brown for 2, and he makes it. Good play by Jaylen Brown. I still like Rompiendo Redes podcast. Rompiendo Redes. I like it. We can do segments as well. I mean, these names that you're dropping here can be also names for segments. So keep them coming. Jimmy Butler, 2 is left. Jumper over Tatum. Rebound for Tucker. And that was a foul for Robert Williams III. It looked like a push before. I don't know if I think the referees didn't pick that one up. But that box out, let me see it. Watching the replay. No. And then Tucker missed the second shot, but it was foul. So here comes PJ Tucker to the line. He misses the first one. And here we go. PJ Tucker with his second field goal. Free throw, I'm sorry. And he misses too. So he missed both of them. And here comes the Sixers. I'm going to do this. The Celtics. Marcus Smart to Al Horford. Back to Jaylen Brown. Butler on him. He falls down. Still passes it. Jason Tatum for 3. And he makes it. First shot for Jason Tatum. Almost 6 minutes into the game. And that was Tatum's first field goal attempt. Jimmy Butler now. 5-point advantage for the Heat. For 3, jump shot. Short, I'm sorry. He misses. Back to Smart. Jason Tatum now. Lays it up. Good catch by, oh my God. Williams III did the hard thing. He caught that pass and then missed a wide open shot. PJ Tucker with a floater. He misses in the putback. Oh man, that was an easy one for Tucker. Has to make those ones. Oh man. Grant Williams now going in for Williams III. I know, Martin. PJ Tucker has to make those. That was an easy one. So, well, it was an easy miss by Williams III and an easy one for PJ Tucker. And he also missed the free throws. So right now he could have 9 points already with those free throws and this jumper, lob that he just missed. Great pass by Jason Tatum, and it's Grant Williams with his first 2 points of the game. 7-0 run for the Celtics in the last couple of minutes. Let's go. Heat chance coming down. Bam Adebayo. Drop. Strus by himself. Wide open. He misses. Rebound for Jimmy Butler. Back to Strus for 3. Misses again. Rebound for Bam Adebayo, who gives it to PJ Tucker. He's in the corner. They find Jimmy Butler. 7 seconds. Back to Tucker. 4 to shoot. Butler slides and falls. And that's a turnover. Tyler Hero and Dwayne Dedman coming in. So too bad Max Strus missed a couple of open shots as well. So 18-15 right now. Look at this. PJ Tucker missed a couple of free throws. It could have been 20-10. And now the Celtics are back in it. Really close. 18-15 after a couple of misses and a couple of mates for Celtics. Here comes Tatum. Smart from 3. He misses. Smart is going to have to stop shooting those. Oh, man. The Heat were 7 for 10 to start, and they missed their last 6 shots. So that's why Tyler Hero is coming in. Gabe Vincent for 3. A long one. He misses. That didn't look like a good shot. The other 2 from Strus, they were good looks. But other than that, the Miami Heat not having great shot selection. Offensive foul by Jason Tatum. He complains about a grab on his right hand, but it was a clear offensive foul. Jimmy Butler on the end of it. Oof, it looked like an elbow to the face. Let me see. Yeah, it looks like a right elbow to the chin. And that was a foul. So, second foul for Jason Tatum already in 8 minutes. Tyler Hero with the ball. To his left. Finds a spot for two. He makes it and gets fouled by Jaylen Brown. So it's 2015 for the Miami Heat. The Heat had missed 7 shots in a row. And now Tyler Hero stops that little draw that the Heat had. Let's go Hero and 1. A little sloppy, but the intentions are good. We got to stay with it. All right. Smart with the ball. Jaylen Brown for 3. And he makes it. So not a lot of collective offense from the Celtics, but they're making a couple of shots, so they're right on it. Jaylen Brown 2 for 3 to start the game. This game, 8 points. 2 for 3 from the 3-point line. Tyler Hero. Oh, stolen by Marcus Smart. And Tyler Hero with the block. They call a foul. Ooh. Wow, that looks like a great block there by Hero. Let's watch the replay. Oof. That looked like a straight block. Let me see here. Ooh. That was just dirty. Ooh. That was a great block by Hero. I don't know why they called this a foul. Damn. All right, 1 point advantage for the Miami Heat now. Gabe Vincent to his left, stops to his right now. He misses. And no rebound for the Heat, so Boston with it. Jaylen Brown, 3 minutes left. Jaylen Brown goes past a couple of guys. Pritchard open for 3, and he makes it. First shot for Pritchard. And the Miami Heat calls timeout. Too bad because that block was clean, but the Heat not getting good looks. And the Celtics with a little comeback. Ronald is here. He says, late to the party, but I've been listening. Don't worry, you're welcome. Yeah, we have less people tonight. I don't know why, but we're having fun here. That's the important thing. Hate to be that guy, but Tucker missed 2 free throws and then an easy putback. The small things. Yeah, it is. We mentioned it here. It's 4 points, and that block there by Tyler Hero. I mean, it all adds up. So yeah, for sure. That was a clean shot. That was a clean one. That was a great block by Tyler Hero, man. That's gonna be in the highlights for sure. Let me see. Mitchell Whittingham says, "Oh my God, that block was all ball." Yes, I know. It wasn't even close. Enter the Vortex says, "We are trading blows. This plays into the Heat's game as we turn up the pressure later." Ronald Fonte says, we are focusing on the player with the ball and losing players for open shots. No Tomato says, Well, Smart getting the superstar treatment clearly. Well, yeah, but I don't know. He's not a superstar to me, so I don't know. Good point there, says Enter the Vortex. Alejandro says thumbs up. Alejandro Q. And Van says need Bam more minutes. Mitchell Winningham, Smart must have blown the ref before the game. Oh man, not nice. Not nice. All right, let's see. Let's see what Brady says. He was there live. Let me see if he's asking something here. Tyler, Game 7 LeBron hero with the glass. Oh man, that was a clean one. And they just missed it. Sometimes referees miss it. But it was a foul. They called it. And now the Celtics are up after that Pritchard 3 before Erik Spoelstra's timeout. Good thing that block does not. Well, it's not different. But if the Heat loses by 2 points tonight, I don't know. We're watching the replay. Let me see. Oh, I see. The chest hitting Smart in the head. That's the only thing right there. That's a block to me. But he did hit him in the head a little bit. So that's what the ref saw. And that was a call. And here we go. Dwayne Dedman in. Jimmy Butler. Tyler Hero. They find Vincent. A little better movement of the ball. Victor Oladipo is in the game. His first minutes. He shoots it. And what happened? I didn't see what happened. I don't know if it was offensive 3-second violation. I don't know. I didn't see what happened. All right. Celtics have the ball now. Smart. Back to Horford. To Brown. To Horford. Back to Jaylen Brown. They have 7 seconds left. Jaylen Brown, double team. He finds Horford. They find Smart. He finds a 3 and he makes it. The first one he makes for 3. 11-0 run right now for the Celtics in the last couple of minutes. And if you remember, it was 18-10 at some point. So it's been a 16-3 run, even in a larger scale. Oladipo misses 1. Ball for the Celtics now. Horford with a great spin, but he steps out, and that's a turnover. So Heat ball again. Oladipo. Isaac says, hi, hey, Wayne, what's up? All right. Wonder why Spo didn't challenge a block. I guess it's too early, maybe. But if it's late in the game, he's probably challenging that. Jimmy Butler over Pritchard. He misses. He went in and out. So it's another shot that he misses. Grant Williams now for 3, and he makes it. So the Celtics are running the table right now. 14 straight points for them. Tyler Hero for 3. He misses. So the Heat are really close. They're really cold right now. Al Horford has Tyler Hero double. Now they find Grant Williams in the corner and another 3 for the Celtics. So 32-21 now for Boston. Here comes Jimmy Butler for 3, and he stops the draw a little bit. 32-24. Not looking good for Miami now. Jaylen Brown for 3, and he makes it. Some of these are not even good shots, but they're making them. So this is an 11-point game now. 35-24. 18 seconds left here in the first quarter. Jimmy Butler attacking the basket. And in and out. The ball doesn't go in. Not going in for Jimmy early in the game. And Jaylen Brown with the last possession. I think Jimmy rushed it up a little bit. That should have been the last possession of the first quarter. Grant Williams with a fake shot. And he barely misses. So 35 points for the Sixers here in the first quarter. They are up by 11 here after the first quarter. Let's see some of you guys' comments, and then we'll review some of the stats of tonight's game so far. All right, here we go. Martin says, as long as it's close by the second half, we should be good. Yeah, he did. I guess attack Tatum after all. He has 2 fouls. Tatum's not in right now, I think. Good call then. Bam is being saved for the kill shot. That block would have switched momentum and the Heat would have been up right now. Well, sometimes that's true. A play can switch the momentum to the other team. Marlon Marcel says refs made a great call on Tyler Hero block. There should be consequences and repercussions. We'll see. We'll see, Marlon. Oladipo. Martin says so many open shots that were missing in the first quarter. Cass says Jimmy needs to drive to the basket. Spo knows something we don't. We can't let them get too far ahead. No Tomato says, you know what's funny? I'm not even worried. This 3 is going in now. It won't happen all game. I know, it's been impressive. We'll see some of the stats now here in a second. We need to cover the 3s, force them to drive to the paint. No problem. Martin says they're making everything and we can't get any lucky rolls. No Tomato says, so if they get it out of the system now, Spoelstra just. Jelly Ellis says Jaylen Brown ain't that good. We're chilling. Ronald Fonte says they're hitting their 3s and they'll cool off, not worried. Lucidity says 81% of the 3 from 3. We need some better defense. And Vanavar says we need to close out on Jaylen. He is hot right now and throwing some bombs. Jaylen Brown said, let's have this dance. Jonathan Clark, thank you to all of you that are leaving your comments here. So right now, 9 3-pointers. They tied their record for a playoff game right now. 9 threes. I mean, sometimes you got to give it to the other team. They're 9 for 11. That's just crazy. All right. In points is 11 points for Jaylen Brown, 8 points for Grant Williams. He had a couple of 3s as soon as he got in the game. For the second time, for the first time, he scored 2. Then 5 points for Marcus Smart. And then only 3 for Peyton Pritchard, Jason Tatum, and Al Horford. All of them made 1 3. Marcus Smart with 5 points, including 2 from the free throw line, thanks to that foul call that we were just discussing. For the Miami Heat, Jimmy Butler with 7 points, but he's missed a couple of shots that could have changed the thing here. The same with PJ Tucker. He's only scored the 5 points, the 5 first points of the game. And then after that, he just missed the rest of his shots. Bam Adebayo, no points so far. He's only attempted 1. So we need more of aggressive Bam. Max Strus, 2 for 5 from 3, 6 points. Vincent with 3 points. Hero with 3 points as well at 2 and 1. So here we go. Miami Heat and Boston Celtics going into the second quarter. The Boston Celtics up by 11. Celtics ball. And I can't believe it. Here we go again. Jaylen Brown. Jaylen Brown. Jaylen Brown. Leans in. That looked like a travel. Jason Tatum for 3, and he makes it. So right now they're 10 for 12. That's just, I mean, you can't match that. Here we go. The Miami Heat now. Tyler Hero. He goes by Tatum. No, by Grant Williams, and that's a foul. Sorry. That's 2 points. So Jalen Brown, let me see here. Yeah. No, it wasn't a travel. And that was a good closeout by Bam. It just didn't work, but it was a good closeout. All right. Tyler Hero with the ball. He attacks the basket. Great reverse with his left hand. That's 2 points for Tyler Hero. So 38-26 right now. Here we go. Pritchard now with the ball. 10 seconds. Jalen Brown, 4-3 again. And now he misses, finally. I mean, it's just impossible to keep that same rhythm. Caleb Martin in. Caleb Martin attacking the basket. He gets blocked by Williams III. Second block of the game for W3. But I like Caleb being aggressive. And good thing that Williams just fell on Martin's foot, but only took his shoe off, and not and didn't injure him. All right, here comes Tyler Hero. Another shot, and he makes it. Tyler Hero, and it's happened a couple of times in this playoff run. Tyler Hero has not had the best playoffs, but in some points when the Heat is really struggling to find a way to score, Tyler Hero has been there. So that's also important. Jason Tatum, he finds Pritchard. Fake for 3. He misses that wide open shot. Again, the Celtics cannot be hitting 90% for the entire game. So here comes Tyler Hero. He gets excited, and that one doesn't go in. Then Williams III hits it out, and it's going to be Miami Heat ball with 14 seconds left. All right, here we go. Tyler Hero with another jumper. He misses. A little short. Marcus Smart now with the ball. He attacks. He gives the ball to Jason Tatum, and that's an easy put back. Reverse left by Tatum. 5 assists for Marcus Smart already. Max Strus. He is struggling. Throws it up to Adebayo. Williams III was ready. Now it's fast break for the Celtics. And that's 2 easy points for the Boston Celtics. Jason Tatum, 42-28. Bam Adebayo with Grant Williams on him. Caleb Martin to Victor Oladipo for 3. He misses. Short. And I haven't. Let me see how's the Heat shooting for 3. It's probably not close. The Miami Heat are 5 for 13, so it's not that bad, but not good enough so far. Jason Tatum for 3. He misses. Here comes the Heat. Caleb Martin for 3. Wide open. He misses. Strus couldn't get the rebound. Marcus Smart gets a 50-50. Ooh, they call another foul. This one on Grant Williams. Let's see. Who was it? Caleb Martin, I guess. Bam Adebayo has to be more aggressive in those 50-50 balls. Let me see. I didn't see a well, maybe right hand on right middle finger, I guess. Let me see here. Huh. All right, since it's been a 35-10 run for the Celtics. And I think he started with the 2 free throw missed by PJ Tucker, and then he missed the easy basket. Here we go. The Heat offense was flowing way better in the beginning of the game. See if he can get back to it. Max Strus. No Duncan Robinson yet. It should be a good time. What happened here? A travel by PJ Tucker. So right now the Celtics are just rolling over the Miami Heat. 5 turnovers already for the Heat. Tatum. Pritchard by himself. That's going to be another one. And he makes it. 47-28 for the Boston Celtics. Erik Spoelstra calls another timeout. It's 19 points. A little miscommunication there by PJ Tucker and Tyler Hero, huh? Well, another assist for Tatum, and Pritchard makes another 3. So the Celtics are 11 for 16 right now, 68.8%. The Heat are 5 for 13 for 3 right now. But from the field, they're actually 11 for 31. So only 35%. That's been the key right there. A lot of missed shots for the Miami Heat. All right, let's read some of your guys' comments. Let's go back up, and we go. Let me see. Okay, Ronald Fonte says we need to make Brown put the ball on the floor. Martin says, why are we so hesitant to be aggressive, and why are they treating Boston as home team with these calls? Well, a couple of them, but right now the difference is not that one. It's 19 points, so it's a little bit more than that. Wow, 15 after being up 18-8. Yes, it's been bad after that. We need to switch our mindset to defense. Gotta stay in range. Went down 15 after being up 18-8. It's getting ugly. Whoa, this is not our defense. No Tomato says Adebayo got the ability sucked out of him. I remember him being a triple-double threat before the contract. The only good news is that it's early in the game. Hero need to get that energy up. The defense is bad again. Yes, energy up. Thanks, Bam. Are they comfortable losing today? Really sloppy. Gotta get focused. Orange it to kill rising. What's happening? I need a heavy bag. Ball movement. Bam is giving us nothing. Someone do a Pat Bev move. This is over. Tyler's trying to do too much. All right, some of you guys' comments so far here. Right now for the Heat, 7 points for Butler, 7 for Tyler Hero, 5 for Tucker, 6 for Struz, and that's about it. 3 for Vincent. The Heat are really struggling on defense. Well, the Celtics are also making a lot of shots, but I mean, are we gonna see Duncan Robinson? Maybe. This is the moment to do it. In this second quarter, in this particular moment when you're down by 19, why not? Just give him a couple of minutes and see how it goes. And maybe switch the defense to a zone defense and see what happens there. Bam isn't doing anything. 11 minutes, 0 points. Yeah, we'll say so far nothing offensively. Celtics made all their Joe shots in the first. We will get ours in the second half. It says, Alejandro, why do you think we're struggling from 3 so much in the playoffs? I don't know. It's weird though, because they've been, they were the best team in the regular season, and it's not like they're not getting good shots. They are getting good shots, like open shots or decent shots. So we'll see. It should level up at some point, but it's not happening. All right, here we go. Miami Heat ball. And no, it's the same 5 going up, going out. Jimmy Butler, Bam Adebayo, PJ Tucker, Tyler Hero, and Max Strus. Hero for Butler, and an easy 2 for Jimmy Butler. Great play by Tyler Hero. He was in the corner. He could have shot a very hard 3. He went back to Butler, and that's 2 easy points for Jimmy. See now. The Miami Heat switching. He has Tatum on Hero now. Help defense. Great job. Now it's a fast break for the Heat. Tyler Hero finds Jimmy Butler, and Butler gets fouled. And Jimmy Butler is going to the line. So, good defense leading into good offense. First trip for to the free throw line for Jimmy Butler tonight. He makes the first one. 47-31. Tomorrow, second game of the Western Conference Finals, Dallas Mavericks versus the Golden State Warriors. Greg Netland says, we will fix this, no preocupa. Jimmy Butler misses the second one. So 47-31. Miami Heat 2 for 5 tonight for the free throw line too. So, and it's PJ Tucker and Jimmy Butler missing free throws. All right, Jason Tatum with Tyler Hero on him. A little foul call on Hero. Ronald Fonte says Jimmy needs to see the ball going on the line. His shots will start falling. Mitchell Whittingham says sometimes when the Heat misses a shot, you can tell they didn't have 3 feet set. Jason Tatum, double team. They find Pritchard in the corner. Pritchard now for Smart. He goes for the short 2. Robert Williams, the third, with a rebound put back in, and he gets fouled. The foul is on Bam Adebayo. And that was a little, well, that was a, I don't know if it was a foul, but it was Williams winning the Bucks out there against PJ Tucker. That's what led to the Bam Adebayo foul. So it's 50-31 now. 19 points already. Or again, let's say that. Jimmy Butler with the ball. To his right. Nothing. From Smart. Back to Tucker. Back to Jimmy Butler. He goes at it again. Finds Strus in the corner for 3. He misses. Rebound for Adebayo. Back up and he dunks it. 2 points for Bam Adebayo. That's what we want to see. Fernando Lopez says, well, see you guys Saturday. I don't know. Don't go too early. Still a lot of basketball to be played. I don't like the team's body language. They need to go to get the energy up, says Ronald. We'll see. All right, Pritchard now. With the ball. Left, right, left. Over Tyler Hero, and he gets 2 points. 52-33. Tyler Hero now. He goes for 3. He misses. Long rebound, and this is going to be an easy basket for Jason Tatum. Nobody came back for the Miami Heat. So they are 21 points up at this moment. Nobody came back in that shot from Tyler Hero. Tyler Hero jumps. He misses. Butler, Strus. Strus drives, deflection. Pritchard gets to it, but it's out of bounds. 5 seconds left for the Heat in this possession. So right now, the Celtics have won 4 out of the 5 games in this series, but the Miami Heat took game 1. Bam Adebayo, 3 seconds now with Williams on him. He gets that contested shot up, misses. Now it's a fight for the rebound. And they're saying it's hit ball because Marcus Smart had his foot. Let me see. Yeah, I got it. So Butler grabbed it with the foot, I guess. That's what they're saying. So it's 14 seconds for the Miami Heat. Strus for three. Misses another one. Not a good start for Max Strus tonight. And I mean, with the way the Celtics are hitting, we need somebody hitting threes. Marcus Smart by himself for three. He misses. Rebound for Horford. So right now the Celtics just winning every little battle. Max Strus 2 for 7 to start this game for the 3-point line. Jaylen Brown from the 2-point line for the free throw line, and that's 2 easy points. 56-33. Gabe Vincent now with the ball. 15 seconds. 14. Here comes the screen from Bam. Back to him. Pick and roll. Great play by Gabe Vincent. 2 easy points for Bam. 56-35. Marcus Smart now to Jason Tatum. Tatum for 2. A foul on PJ Tucker. The second foul for Tucker, and that's a basket for Tatum. Let me see where the foul was. I didn't see it. Well, a free throw for Jason Tatum, and that's good. So 59-35. Gabe Vincent now with the ball to PJ Tucker. Gabe Vincent now for 2. He makes it. So it's 59-37 right now. I see some people here saying it's over. The Celtics now. Marcus Smart spins. Ball back to Tatum for 3. Contested shot, and he makes another one. 18 points for Jason Tatum. Gabe Vincent now with the ball. He falls. They're going to have to call a timeout here. So remember, this was an 18-10 game for the Heat at some point, and then it's just been all downhill from there. 52-19 from that point. All right, let's see. Dave Franco says just got to get down to 15 before the half, but right now defense got to step up. Vincent never gets a call. Yeah, I know. Well, he's not a superstar. All right, Jason Tatum. Oh, Jason Tatum getting a superstar foul right there. Let me see. You got to go on a run and keep it in reach. Top Dog says Martin, he should. Let me see what the call is here. I don't know. They're getting and hitting anything they want, the Celtics. We lost, says our friend Lucidity. It's 27 points right now. Let's hope Coach Spo can figure it out. This is over, Fernando Lopez. We're not coming back. Let's get stops and start chipping the lead. Doesn't look good. He literally got tripped the same way last play and called a jump ball. All right, here comes the Heat. Ball for Jimmy Butler. For 3, he misses. Rebound by Bam. He makes that 2-point, and it's a 2-and-1. Great play by Bam Adebayo. So 64-39. The Heat trying to get this somewhere close here, but right now it's a blowout. 64-39. 20 points for Jason Tatum. He's 7 for 9 from the field, 3 for 4 from 3, and has made his 3 free throws. 13 points for Jaylen Brown, 10 for Grant Williams, 8 for Peyton Pritchard, 5 for Robert Williams III, 5 for Marcus Smart, 3 for Al Horford, and Marcus Smart's leading the team with 7 assists. For the Heat, Jimmy Butler, 10 points. 7 points for Tyler Hero, 6 for Bam Adebayo, 6 for Max Strus, 5 for Vincent, 5 for PJ Tucker. It's been pretty even right there. Detman, Oladipo, Martin, no points. Detman almost 5 minutes. Oladipo almost 7 minutes. Caleb Martin 5 minutes. No minutes yet for Duncan Robinson. Let me see who else is here. Tatum slips, and that's a foul. Yeah, I didn't see the foul in that last play either. I don't know. Damn, Miami proving ESPN doubters right. Jeez. Well, everybody has a bad game every once in a while. They're giving Boston calls. We ain't winning tonight, says Martin Jordan. Johan Mayer says Celtics fan here is not over. If Boston can go on a run, so can the Heat. Half the game left. You see, Johan is a Celtic fan, but he knows that things can happen. It happened in the third quarter last game, so it's a lot of basketball still to be played here. We'll see what happens. Thank you, Johan, for joining the 5 Reasons YouTube channel Hangout. Martin says everyone is afraid to shoot and it's closing the paint for Jimmy. Jason Mayer says, and the Panthers lost with 3 seconds left. Unreal. Refs calling BS calls just in hell. This game is giving me 2014 vibes, and he's Heat versus refs. But I mean, at this point, we know that's just how it is. I mean, it's not new for us to be in this position, so we just embrace it at this point, I guess. All right. Vanevar says, questionable calls aside, we have been sloppy with the basketball and lacking energy. We need to turn up the heat. Yeah, I agree. They've been 8-10 points that maybe should have not been there. The block, a couple of fouls on Tatum, a couple of calls here and there. But other than that, the Celtics will still be winning this one, the way the Miami Heat is playing right now. This game's not even competitive, says Jermaine King. Jason Mayer says, you need to chip away at the lead. Boston is shooting lights out. We need to get a few spots and buckets. Justin Hell says, Tyler Hero block, man. That's BS too. Yeah, that was not a foul. See, Bam Adebayo now with a free throw. And Bam misses the free throw. So, how many already? 6 free throws missed. No, 4 free throws. 4 out of 6 the Heat has missed. So, I mean, refs plus free throws plus Celtics playing better basketball and hitting some shots. So that's the difference right now. That's the difference. All right, here comes Gabe Vincent with the ball to his left. Now to Jimmy Butler, who finds Tyler Hero. Hero couldn't get it to Butler. And they're calling a travel here on Tyler Hero. This is why the Sixers wanted to double Tyler Hero, I guess. If Hero can't get that ball off his hands to Jimmy Butler fast, he's going to struggle. So Hero's just being hunted in switches. Yeah, they're shooting with force. It seems a little hesitant. This is why when you need experience. Let's watch the last 2 minutes. Corner 3, they miss it. Rebound for PJ Tucker. He misses the ball. That's a foul for Jimmy Butler on Jaylen Brown. And Brown's going to the line. All right, so reading the rest of the Williams comment. Our assist game is weak right now. At some point, we will need Kyle Lowry to win a championship, I guess. Tony says, Hero's not a max guy. Great Len says, I'm pretty sure the rest are all wearing green thongs. Ronald Fonte says, someone needs to come up to Hero when he's being double teamed. Yeah, I agree. Tyler playing like a rookie. It looks like we haven't played in a month. Yeah, not a good first half right now. Jimmy Butler. And he travels. He drops the ball. Really sloppy. Really sloppy first half for the Miami Heat. Almost 30-point difference right now. So all we have to say. Not a good defensive performance, not a good offensive performance. So the Heat is way down right now. Williams winning the battle against PJ Tucker today as well. So, I mean, that's hard that way. All right, here comes the Heat. Gaylord Jotting says, let's go, guys. Come on. Gabe Vincent with a 3. 68-42. It's a loss, says our friend Tony. There's no coming back. This looks like last year. According to our friend Ron Baker. Ronald Fonte says, when Heroes double team, you see everyone else sitting still. Oh my God. Marcus Smart just missed a bunny right now. Horford fakes the 3 now, goes in. That was a bad pass. Shot clock at 5 seconds. The Celtics getting they're winning by a lot, but still feel like that should have been a bigger advantage right now. Get pass to James Butler, and he makes 2. Tyler Butler. So great pass by Gabe Vincent there. A quick pass a la Kyle Lowry. And that's a rebound and an assist there. A foul by Jaylen Brown. And a free throw for Butler, who makes it. So here we go. Jonathan Clark says Martin Horford will not allow Boston to blow this game in the second half. Corey's back. William Davis says it's cool. Kyle Lowry is important. If we want to win it all, get healthy, Kyle. Luis Manuel del Busto, come on, guys. Have hope. The Heat will turn up in the third quarter. Welcome back, man. Yes, hopefully that's the case. That's the end of the first half. So it's 70-45. The Celtics make the last basket of the quarter. Marcus Smart hitting the last shot. And it's a 25-point game going into the first half. Vincent misses the last shot. And that's it for now. Thank you guys for joining us. Let's listen to the halftime show. I know the guys are going to be really mad about this right now, and they should. I mean, it hasn't been a good presentation by the Miami Heat tonight. So let's see. We're going to wait until the Pace and Spaces starts for the halftime show. And for now, let's read some of you guys' comments. Let's go, says Ronald Fonte. Van says, Bam pushing the ball and then pass, attack the basket. Yeah, we need more of Bam attacking the basket. Jonathan Clark says, I'm not delusional. William Davis, get them butts out of here. Chris Mann says, liking the score. So Gary, I don't get it. Top Dog says, where is that man? Alejandro El Tocayo says, all of a sudden the Heat defense is nowhere. Bam is not aggressive. Hero gone as well. We are a third quarter team. We got this. Alejandro, will you be back? Yes, I'm going to be back after halftime. 25 points still possible to overcome. Martin says, at least I hope Skip loses hope on us so we can do better. Talking about Skip Bayless. William Davis says, well, put Duncan in. What could go wrong? That's what I said. I mean, these minutes in the second quarter, I thought was a good moment to do it. But right now, it's not looking good. So let me see something here. As we continue reading some of you guys' comments. Bam needs to attack seriously. Where is Deadman? We've only won one quarter so far in the Eastern Conference Finals, but they're winning the series, so that's what's important. Play Deadman and Bam together. Good luck with the third quarter. Hey, you're doing good, Alejandro. Thank you, William. We're going to stay here. Ryan De Cruz says, Duncan performed well against Boston in the bubble. Let's use the second half to experiment with Duncan. If they reduce it to 13, it's doable. Well, right now it's a long distance to go. So let's listen to the halftime show, and we'll be back here in a second with the second half of this game. Right now, the Celtics with a great advantage, 70-45. So, I mean, let me see. Let me see what else. Let's use the second half. Not Tomato says if they reduces Ronald Fonte, Celtics 10 for 10 from the line. Hits 3 for 7. We need to do better. Yes, the NBA doesn't want to lose money. Bam is trash offensively. His ceiling is very low. Martin, it's because Jimmy wore white today instead of black. Ryan De La Cruz says if we get in within 14. All right, here we go. Halftime show.
It's a downer of an episode. That was probably one of the worst halves the Miami Heat have played all year, let alone the playoffs. There's a lot to talk about. I think mostly what I wanted to touch on was defense. I don't know about you, Sean. I'll get I want to get your first word in on because there's some stuff I want to talk about, but I think you probably have some stuff that both of us are going to touch on. So I'll let you go ahead.
Yeah, I don't know really where to start, but I think initially it was the offense was poor, and that led into bad defense. But at the same time, now it's even when we have made baskets or we're getting set, we're still not getting stops. They're obviously switching. I think that's something you're going to talk about, versus the drop that was going on earlier in last game. So it's harder to find places to exploit them. But just all in all, just not a good half on either end of the floor, and it's going to take some big adjustments to fix that.
Yeah, you brought up that Boston stopped drop, and well, I guess they stopped dropping after I guess the 18-10 start from Miami, which was that was a lot of what Boston fans on my channel were complaining about. They were like, why are they not switching? Udoka was like, yeah, F that game plan. We're going to go back to, a switching team, which they did. And, it kind of paid off for them. Miami also started playing really dumb offensively. When you get pressured like that, you start playing dumb. Miami is like a really smart team. So it's very uncharacteristic of them. But, when other teams good at defense like Boston is, it's going to make you react like that. And also on the offensive end for Boston, Miami's putting two on the ball more. Boston is forcing them to do that too, which is something that Miami was really good at recovering in the last game. Communication was on, but it's just not the same when you look at it. Ray, I want to get your thoughts because you were in the group chat. You were talking about a lot of stuff that was just off for you, and I think I agree with a lot of what you were saying.
I mean, it's actually something that Sean pointed out in the pool party, and it's that you need to start hitting these slips. Because what they're doing is they're basically it's kind of the same thing with Tyler. What they've done every series since the start of the playoffs is you blitz him He doesn't like traps. He doesn't like having two people in his face. I don't think anybody in the NBA does, but he still hasn't really figured out a way to get past that yet. So if you watch when we're running these little dribble handoffs and we're setting ball screens and stuff, these slips are there almost every single time. And I think that's really an adjustment that needs to be made. I think that Gabe has actually played phenomenally. If you want the truth, that advanced pass right at the end of the quarter was straight out of Kyle's playbook for us. That was something really good. I like to see. All in all, like, I get it. It looked absolutely terrible. But the Celtics also shot like 9 of 11 from 3, and they're shooting some absurd percentage and stuff. And I get it. We had a bad half of basketball, but there's also still 24 minutes of basketball left. I said this in the last space. So, like, we have Spo, we have Jimmy, we're at home. I get the chips are stacked against us, but it is what it is. Welcome to playoff basketball. They have their 2 starters back that everybody bitched and raged about having back. This is what it is. Marcus Smart, whether people want to say he's the defensive player of the year or not, is a very good defensive player. Al Horford is a very smart player. So, just like y'all said, it's a little uncharacteristic of us how we're playing, kind of boneheaded, kind of stupid. Tighten your stuff up. Go back to Miami basketball, and there's no reason that we can't win this. We should be down like 35 right now, and we're not. So, again, just like last time, hang on, guys, and go Heat.
Wow, that man, I don't know how he found reason to be optimistic. I don't think a lot of people up here.
Damn it. 8-5, motherfuckers. You can't win in 5 if you don't lose 1.
This man is, people probably in the back right now doing white lines. I think my man was on 20 of those. Jay, go ahead, man. I know you always got something to say. That's probably more a little different than some X's and O's. Go ahead.
What's everybody else doing tonight? I guess go.
Waiting on the Heat to make this comeback.
We're gonna go get some dinner or something. Anybody want to go watch Doctor Strange again? You know what I mean? It's a great movie. Yeah, if an epic comeback happens, that's great. If an epic comeback happens, Boston will get swept because this will be the worst loss in history for them. I don't see us winning this game. I think we got punched in the mouth. This almost looks like this should have been game 1, like us getting punched in the mouth because we were tired. Like, 'cause it just looks like they're not ready. Like, it looks like they're just just lazy. You know what I mean? Just not doing their defensive work, staying in the paint, not going out, not reaching out. It's just weird. Of course, credit to Boston. They were making all their shots. I think someone said they were shooting 60% or some shit from 3. Jesus Christ, man. You tip your cap and that's it. At this point, I feel like it's on to game 3. If they can beat us on our home court, we got to beat them on theirs. Good.
Yeah. When you brought up the shooting, last game, I think the first half Boston was shooting well. It's just the threes are kind of exasperating and all that. And, Miami's even playing a worse half than even that half. So it's kind of making it even worse.
Yeah, that's really all I had to say, man. Like I said, if they win this game, if somehow by a miracle something straight up happens where they go on a 20-0 run, which they have, right? It's not impossible, but I just don't see it. But I could be wrong.
Yeah, Ricky, I know you probably have some more macro stuff you always want to bring up. Maybe defensively or offensively. I think in the next half you're just going to try some stuff. I don't know if you see anything else that Spo might try in that second half. That'll be really more of an experimental thing. But I don't know. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I'm really not sure what Spo's going to try, but I do trust that he will make adjustments in the second half. I'm not going to lie. I got to be honest. I'm a little annoyed. I canceled the date tonight just to watch the Heat split at home. That kind of sucks, to be honest with you. I could be doing something else right now, and I'm not, and that's annoying. But anyways, look, at this point, if my math is correct, the Miami Heat are going to have to outscore the Boston Celtics in the second half by at least 26 points to win this game. Given how anemic the scoring is, and given how horrible the shots have been that haven't been going in on their end, I don't see that. I'm gonna be honest. I don't see that happening. 70-45. If you told me this was a 5 to 11 point deficit, I'd say okay. Even with Boston's rhythm being what it is, the Miami Heat can just fight their way back into this game, and so on and so forth. I don't expect a third quarter like what we saw in game one against this version of the Celtics, because as we understand, as we need to recognize, this is not the Celtics team that Miami beat on Tuesday. Don't get cocky over one win thinking, oh, yeah, we got this one. Woo, yeah, man, they don't know what hit them. No, that wasn't the real Celtics they played. I mean, that's just the reality of it. But here's the thing. I think at this point, Miami does have a chance. It's a very small one, and I don't expect them to win in the second half because, look, I mean, it's the playoffs. You're not going to win every game, and I don't think it's chaos or it should be a sin to say that. However, I think if Miami starts taking smarter shots, if we get more activity from Miami's bigs, if Tyler Hero continues to avoid being hunted the way apparently Boston has started to hunt him, then I think they can claw their way back into this game over time. But we'll have to wait and see. I do not think that we need to start wondering whether or not Kyle Lowry is healthy or not, because honestly, in a game like this, I'm not sure he would have been the difference. I'm sure there are people out there that disagree with me, and I respect that. But look, yeah, right now it's going to be tough. Miami can bring this back. I don't see it happening, but they're really going to have to play much more disciplined basketball in the third and fourth quarters because it's going to take 2 quarters to get all the way back into this thing. We'll see what happens.
That's something that Sean brought up. He said the Kyle doesn't matter. Like if Kyle was here, he wouldn't help. Maybe it's more of like a 20-point lead instead of a 28-point lead than it was in that second quarter. So, Sean, yeah, I don't think people should point at that. I don't know if you have any other thoughts on that, or just what you're going to look for in the second half, really, just in terms of what Miami might try out there.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think Kyle makes that much of a difference. I mean, I thought Gabe was good. I mean, Gabe might have been our second best player, at least top 3. So I don't think that's the problem. But you know what? To Ricky's point, I think Spo will make adjustments. It may not result in a win, but this is the type of situation where you don't just waste 24 minutes. You know, you get to go against the Celtics essentially as a whole team, and now you try to find things that work. Maybe it's zone, maybe it's different rotation combinations, maybe it's different strategies offensively or defensively. You find something, you know, even if you don't get the win, you find something that you can carry towards game 3. And you know, with the Lowry thing, maybe it's that you see him in game 3 now. You know, maybe they've gotten him rest, and maybe he's back to not 100% by any means, but close to healthy, and maybe that's part of the adjustment. But that can't be the only adjustment. You just insert Kyle Lowry into this lineup, and it doesn't fix everything going into the next game, or even if he was healthy for this game. There's bigger problems that we got to solve.
Yeah, well said, man. All right, we go ahead and go real quick with some of our last guys. Andre, who is also part of the pool party, go ahead.
No, you guys are resuming pretty well. Honestly, it's really hard to be up in a game when you're allowing 60% from the field, 60% from 3. Some calls haven't gone our way that changed the momentum pretty heavy. Pretty much I'm thinking of that hero block that was called a foul that moved the momentum a little bit. But 1-2 calls over here, missing Lowry, like we said, is not going to swing 25 points. We're shooting 40, they're shooting 60. It is what it is. They have 4 less turnovers. We might make a comeback in the second half, who knows? But it's just really weird, this defense. Like in the first and second quarter of last game, it was the same. It wasn't characteristically Miami Heat basketball until that third quarter explosion. I don't think we can force 8 turnovers again in a quarter. Hopefully we can. Hopefully they get riled up, but really uncharacteristic what I'm watching right now.
Go ahead, Ray. I see you got your hand up.
Never mind. I just looked and Bam played 19 minutes. All I'm saying is Bam needs to play probably going forward. If Horford is going to play the way he is and kind of make Dedmon, who I like and want to be great, a whole lot better. Not better, but worse. We're going to have to up Bam's minutes. But right now he's at 19. I thought he was at a lot lower, and I was fixing to complain about that. But never mind. Carry on, go Heat.
Yeah, those Dedmon minutes were pretty bad.
4 minutes for Bam.
They felt a lot worse than they were because of how long they were, or how long it felt. Go ahead, KSO, and then we're going to end with Zach as always. I think he's dead. Go ahead, Zach.
Well, I don't really have much to say, but let's just all you fucking negative fucks. You know, they're shooting like 58, 53, 100 split. One game, we still might come back. Who gives a fuck if we don't? Remember, we were 2-2 with Sixers. We've been in shit spots before. Settle the fuck down, all right? Let's just relax, all right? Look at our team. We got Spo. In Spo, we trust. It's a bad game. Like Jay said, man, just wrap it up, turn it off, go out, watch Doctor Strange, kick back. It'll be okay. It's a reason. It's not a fucking one game, we're done, all right? So let's go. Fuck this game off. Who cares? Do something else with our lives for today, and we'll move on. We will be okay. And if not, it just means that we can trade Duncan and Hero and get Mitchell next season. Let's fucking go.
Fuck that, Zach. We winning.
Oh man, hey, no spoilers for Doctor Strange, by the way. Here we're going to get into the second half real quick because the game's about to start. Sorry we couldn't get to everybody who wanted to come up here, but thank you guys for showing out anyway. Hopefully you guys can come up stage next time. We're still going to have the post-game show, by the way, on the YouTube channel. Those guys are going to talk about the game a little more than we are because we only got 15 minutes here. Boy. So you already know the basement, as we like to call them, is going to be live tonight. So make sure to tune in, guys, and make sure to come out to the next halftime spaces. Everybody who came up here was great. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it, and yeah, go out and watch Doctor Strange, maybe, or maybe watch Spider-Man: No Way Home or the Batman. That shit's great. Anyway, peace out, everybody. Have a good night.
All right, guys, we are back. I know it's a blowout, but we're gonna be here for a little bit more so you guys can enjoy our hangout. Remember, as soon as the game is over, we're gonna have the post-game experience, the post-up show, hosted by our friend Royal Shepherd. So it's 80-53 right now. Miami Heat trying to get back to this one here in the third quarter. PJ Tucker. Pass deflected and stolen by Jaylen Brown. Too many turnovers for Miami so far. They're calling the foul. Let's get our rally cap here. See what happens. I don't have my headphones now. Marcus Smart, 13 points, 8 assists so far. Leading the Celtics 80-53 for Boston. Marcus Smart attacking the basket. He's going to get two. No, he missed it. And that's a foul on Grant Williams after the rebound by Bam Adebayo. So 7 minutes, 23 seconds left here in the second half. Some comments are funny here. Let me see. Still hitting 6. Yeah, some guys forget that for it to be hitting 6 or hitting 7, you need to actually lose some games. So I know. Here comes Jimmy Butler. He spins on Williams, and this goes in. These are the shots that were not going in the first half. So 80-55. It's been the same difference right now. 25 points. 20 points for Jimmy Butler. So that's not been an issue. It's just the rest of the crew. No Duncan Robinson yet. Jaylen Brown for 3. He misses. Quick one for Jimmy Butler. He gets 2 points. And that's a timeout for the Celtics. Udoka didn't want anything to do with a comeback. So 80-57 is still a long way to go for the Miami Heat. So 22 points now for Jimmy Butler. Let's see some of you guys' comments. That's why I picked Boston in 6 before the series. I looked at him losing the core with that core for years. 2019, 2020, 21. I said Boston's a revenge tour. We're next. Unbiased. Thank you, Jonathan. Good comment so far. Williams Davis, we lost game 1. Greg Nyland says we just got to fix our heads. We're coming out of the gate harder than that. Should probably game and bring out Robinson. Yeah, especially with this disadvantage right now. Why not? Yeah, right now just try to see what works. After all the Heat are 15 deep. Pool party, you all better have on your flame speedos. He went 7 for 8 in game 1 versus the Hawks. Spoelstra can't be that cruel. William Davis says we need Duncan to hit 5 consecutive threes because he's no longer out there. The more will get punished. He's still hitting 6. Our friend Nova Kane. And yeah, we'll need Lowry in this series. Duncan starting, I don't care. Stu is 2 for 7 and 3s. That dig, Rob. Whatever, they're just hot. Talking about the Celtics. This guy's an Aussie. I'm not an Aussie. Aussie. Great Nayland says they had their half. This is ours. Same amount of threes, they're making them. William Davis, yes. So unfortunately, we might have to chalk up nothing but threes. This is gonna be ugly. Jermaine King says Tyler has played bad the entire playoffs except for one game against the Sixers. No, but he's had good moments, I would say. Fernando Lopez, I want to cry. It's basically Jimmy carrying us. Jesse says series over, 3 games left. Now if the Celtics win this one, it's gonna be a 5-game series. Whoever wins 3. The smart tactic scream hey after every play. We need to get Jimmy some serious offensive help this offseason. With Lowry in the season, the Heat had less turnovers. Heat need the control. Well, Heat actually didn't play well against Philadelphia, so I don't know if he's at that level right now. Nick Johnson, unfortunately, we see the real Celtics tonight, and we're not seeing the real Heat. Still down to see how Robinson can fit in this series. Ronald Fonte says, Alejandro, the problem is our role players have struggled on the road. Well, and they're struggling tonight too. Cedric Perry says, "Get it to 10 by the fourth quarter, and we'll be fine." Well, right now it's what 23 points, so not close to 10 so far. Celtics just shoot threes. They're addicted to that crap. Jimmy take control, and they will keep shooting themselves out of the win. We shall see. Time stamp this. All right, this is third quarter, 6 minutes, 39 seconds left. A lot of basketball left to play, and Williams still believes in the team. Went from 29 to 23, maybe now to 17. Yeah, let's do it. Why not? On offense, the Heat are playing 4 and 5 with Bam in the lineup. Top Dog says Cedric. Heat playing with no energy, 5 out lineup, 3-point contest, no vaccine facts. All right, here we go. We're back. Third quarter, a little over 6 minutes to play here. Celtics ball. Time to chip away, chip away, chip away. Jason Tatum. With Jimmy Butler on him, that's another foul. And Tatum's going to the line. Vincent, Butler, Strus, Oladipo, and Adebayo. Those are the 5 on the floor. All right, here we go. 2 points for Jason Tatum, 82-57. Gabe Vincent now coming up with the ball to Oladipo. Oladipo is one of those guys that we need more from. He just got stolen by Marcus Smart. Good thing they turned it over again. So 82-57 still. Ooh. And here we go. Let's go Heat chance. So some people still believe. I mean, if they paid that money to be there, why not? Pick and roll with Jimmy Butler. He goes at it, misses, and gets his own rebound. So 24 points for Jimmy. Grant Williams, Horford to Jaylen Brown for 3, corner 3. He misses. Rebound for Jimmy Butler. They're hitting a little run right now. 7-2 right now. Jimmy Butler misses. Bam Adebayo says, oh, they're going to say it doesn't count. Too bad. Let me see. Let's watch a replay. It looked good, but they're not challenging. So no 2 points for the Heat. Too bad. Jimmy missed that first one, and the Adebayo put back didn't count. Brown saves it back to Smart, who didn't even hit the rim. The ball fell into Grant Williams' hands, and he missed his own shot. So here we go. Jimmy Butler one-on-one with Jason Tatum on the one side. Gabe Vincent for 3. He misses back for 3, and he makes it 82-62. This is a 20-point game. Little run for the Heat. Little run. We need a couple of more runs here. Maybe 2 or 3 more runs like that, and we'll be back into this game. Defense. Miami Heat fans chanting. They're back. Still a 20-point game. Marcus Smart finds Tatum. He tries to sell a foul. They should start just calling those flops a foul as well, like they do. Well, they used to do in soccer. Great play by Vincent there. He faked Brown, then made like he was gonna go in, then went back to it, step back three, and he made it. So 20-point difference here in the third quarter. $17 points for Vincent game one, 14 points for him tonight. Celtics ball. Brown to Grant Williams. He fakes it, and they call a foul now on Max Strus. All right, here we go. Miami Heat trying to get it back to under 20 points. Celtics ball again. Jason Tatum finds Grant Williams again. Back to Tatum. Horford with a fake shot. Lobs it up. Nobody. No shot. And they miss it. So great defensive play by the Heat there. Here comes Vincent. Vincent with the ball. See if the Miami Heat can keep this run going. Jimmy Butler to his right. He finds a space, gets in. That's 2 points and a foul. So here's a little run for the Heat. 82-64. Jimmy Butler leading the team again. The lead is back to 18, and Butler can make it a 17-point game. Still a lot of basketball to be played. Let's go Heat chance. Here in the third quarter, FTX Arena, second game of the Eastern Conference Finals. 4 fouls already for Jaylen Brown. Here comes Jimmy Butler with the free throw. He makes it. 82-65. Still a long way to go. Tatum with the ball. Heat with the higher pressure now. They find Pritchard in the corner. Back to Jason Tatum. That's a regular offense. 10 seconds. Ball back to Tatum. They call a foul on who? Vincent? And that's a foul. Tatum's going to go to the line, I think, because he was in the shooting motion. And here comes Jason Tatum. The Celtics have been perfect from the free throw line today, huh? I think. Vincent is back out. Good minutes by Gabe Vincent. Tyler Hero goes back in. Tucker is back to the locker room. Tucker is not returning in game 2 of the series. So we'll see who takes those minutes at the end of the game. I mean, this is not a close one right now. So 19 points. Jimmy Butler to Tyler Hero, who has Pritchard on him. He should attack that particular matchup. Jimmy Butler attacking Pritchard. He gets 2 more. So right now it's Butler against this Boston Celtics. 84-67. 29 points for Jimmy Butler, 16 of them this quarter. Those shots were not falling in the first half. Now they are. All right, here comes this hit again. Pritchard missed the 3. Rebound for Bam Adebayo. Butler finds Adebayo inside the basket, and he got the ball knocked out of his hands. Too bad. Here comes Mark Smart. Oh, he gets Strus in the floor. That play is going to be in the highlights tonight on ESPN. Strus just fell on his butt there. And that's a timeout for Erik Spoelstra. It's a 19-point game. 2 minutes, 24 seconds left in the third quarter. A little bit of a better version. Max Strus just fell. Oh, well, yeah, he fell. And Strus made that shot. The bench reacting That's fine. Okay, let's see. All right, let's see who else is here. Jimmy Butler versus Boston. I could feel a run about to start. Bam isn't getting fed enough. Let's cut the lead. Gabe has taken about 20 shots like he's the star of the team. Damn it, you're way ahead of me. Alejandro says, uncharacteristic is playoff basketball. Come on, wake up, says Greg. Luis Manuel del Busto says, if we get less than 20 points before the fourth, we're good. I don't know, but where I know we're 19 points away and it looks far. Wilner Harrybuck says, it feels like after the hero clean block, the Heat went on the draw. I'm a Heat fan, but Celtics he seem mentally tougher. Okay, Mert. This one of those games when Lowry would have been key, would have helped control the flow. Elbow to face did not help. There is hope. Jonathan says, Bam don't want the ball, ask for the ball in the post and attack. Post, put pressure on Boston inside to open up the outside. Then demand for it, or Jimmy will wear out this series. That I think that last play, what you saw is was been happening. I mean, Butler got the ball to Bam in the paint, but then there the Celtics have been better so far in this game. So I don't know. A little bit of what I'm seeing. Guys, Grant Williams had the butt back after the hero block, but that wasn't it. Oh yeah, Bam. Well, and Bam had that put back in. That would have been 17, and it could have been 15 now if the Heat made another one there. So some calls also not helping the Heat. Jermaine King says Bam never gets a ball when they run a pick and roll. Instead, they kick the ball out to the corner. Luis Manuel del Busto says 18 points. Guys have hope. Damn, I got to roll it. Greg, 3 next possession. PJ out of the game. They had their half. This is ours. I'd like to see a hero Bam pick and roll. Yeah, I know. More of those. 1 point. Nick Johnson says, Yikes. I'm quoting Riley now. Bam cannot be the second best player. Nick Johnson says, next game we can dig a hole that deep. Struz just made it worse. Max and Tyler need to ball out and Depot. What's happening? I know, right? Says Axel Victor. German case. I gotta give it up to Jimmy. Another great game from him. Ronald Fonte says throughout the playoffs when Jimmy feeds Bam, it's a turnover. Kind of like Bam never expects Jimmy to pass down low. I love the Heat, but this third's a carry job by Butler. Yeah. If not, the game would be over already. The long and winding road. Least LaMelo Ball can laugh. Next game, we can dig a hole that deep. Jeremy says, yeah, that timeout was trash. Forget Bam on offense. He's Hassan 2.0 right now. He can still catch up if they take control of the flow. I have hope, Tyler. All right. Some of you guys' comments. They turn over. I missed it. What happened there? And now foul by Dwayne Dedman. Duncan Robinson is in, by the way. Duncan Robinson getting his first minutes. Finally. Being all that had to happen, huh? Kyle Lowry out. PJ Tucker out. The Heat losing by 19. The end of the third quarter, and we get the first Duncan Robinson minutes. Miami runs on Duncan. He better shoot. Yeah, he's going to be there. He better shoot. We have him to shoot there. Only 18 minutes for 18 for Robinson in this series against the Sixers. So they need to get him going early here. First play should be run for him right now. Here it comes. For Duncan Robinson, 2 is left. Back to Butler. Back to Robinson for 3. He misses. Do it again. Back to Robinson. He shoots again. He misses. And that almost went in. So 2 misses for Duncan Robinson. But that's why, I mean, you have to try something. Marcus Smart for three. He makes his three. Celebrates. Back to 24, the lead here for the Celtics. Jimmy Butler now attacking the basket. He finds Oladipo. Oladipo didn't want to shoot it. Back to Butler. Back to Depot. Goes in the paint. Shoots a two. Misses. Jason Tatum. Back to Smart. He misses in and out. Rebound by Dedmon, who was almost tipped it in his own basket. Tyler Hero to his left. Duncan Robinson attacking the basket, and he gets 2 points. Duncan Robinson with his first 2 points of the game and the series here. 91-69. 40 seconds left. Jason Tatum with the ball. Jason Tatum for three. He makes it. 94-69. 27 points for Jason Tatum. I mean, his game has been what we expect for him. The difference has been the role players here tonight. Jimmy Butler and Jason Tatum almost like they cancel each other out. Jimmy Butler now with the ball. He finds Duncan Robinson for three. Misses. Rebound for Butler. Foul by Jimmy Butler. And the rebound. So Robinson right now 0 for 3. But they have to try it. I mean, he has to get him some playing time. It's like the Heat forgot how to shoot. Yeah, it's been a rough night. I mean, let's go ahead and look at the numbers right now. Miami tonight is 8 for 26 from the 3-point line, only 30%. I mean, and that's been the case almost all throughout the playoffs. It's just not been good. 96-69 right now for the Celtics. Miami Heat ball now. Oladipo. We're going to close this third quarter. Last possession of the quarter. Oladipo attacking the basket. And he misses the dunk. And good luck because Pritchard was running the other way with the ball. And that was going to be another basket for the Celtics. Let me see what happened. Fouled by Williams there, down. Yeah, down in the hand. Oladipo makes the first one. I think, well, I don't know if they're winning this quarter, but it's been close. Here comes Duncan's fouls. Notice how Boston has a high arcing shot and we are shooting flat, hitting short or back at the rim. Jermaine is arguing with somebody, with me. I don't know if he's arguing with me or not. Bam ain't right since he got hurt in the finals. Whenever says win the quarter, at least needs to score to win this quarter or win the last quarter. So 96-21. It was down to 17 at some point, but it's back to 25 again. So I don't think it's happening tonight, but we'll see. We'll see what happens in the fourth quarter. These first two games, Bam has literally done nothing on offense, and something happened. Where did the comment go? Okay, and you're telling me about 19 and 10. I hope Jimmy goes to the front office and the band Bam to get traded. I don't know if that's gonna happen. Jermaine, you're clown. Complain about offense when our defense couldn't stop Charles Barkley right now. Heat can easily go on a 25-2 run to start the fourth. They just got to execute. Even the announcers stating facts about Bam's offense. All right, let's review Bam's production tonight. He's 3 for 6. He should have one more basket there because they didn't give him a putback. So he only has 6 points, the same 6 points from Max Door. So tonight, look at the starting five for the Heat. Between Tucker, Adebayo, and Struz, only 17 points between the three of them. And Tucker had the first 5 points in the game. So I think you have an answer there. The guys coming off the bench, not a lot of production either. Only 7 points by Tyler Hero, 2 for Oladipo, and 2 for Robinson. Gabe Vincent, the only other player by the Heat with more than 10 points, 14 for him. He's 4 for 8 for 3 assists, 3 rebounds. And Jimmy Butler has been great. I mean, 11 for 19, 1 for 3 from the 3-point line, 6 for 8 from the free throw line, 7 rebounds, 3 assists, 1 block, 29 points again. And ESPN loving the Marcus Smart presence right now. And you guys think that's a difference tonight? I think it has a little bit to be. I mean, it's a little bit of the Celtics playing better and a little bit of the Heat just not playing at the same level they were all throughout these playoffs. So let's see what happens. I hate these long commercials, but I get it. They make money of it. So all right, let's see some of you guys' comments again. The discussion is interesting here. Bam with 6 points. Play the bench, Spo. We need Kyrie Irving. Oh God. Need an Omer sighting. Bam makes 200 million. Let that sink in. The Heat are about championship, right? So he has to bring in the postseason even if he gets swatted. He needs to shoot and attack, get offensive rebounds. Yeah, I agree. He needs to be more aggressive. He still needs Bam defense. Bam don't want it that bad. He has it in him to dominate. Boston wants all the smoke with us. Bam is passive. Todd Miller, not nice. Spo should just play the bench guys and rest Jimmy. Don't let Stephen A get on Bam. It will be funny. Celtics in 5. Nick Johnson said Bam and Tyler look like trash tonight. All right, here we go. Tyler Hero. Back to Deadman. Deadman attacking the basket, showing Bam what to do. 2 points for Dwayne Deadman. No Pepas tonight. If we were in Boston, it would have been Pepas a long time ago, huh? 25 points right now. Another basket by the Celtics. Jaylen Brown attacking. Nobody stopping him tonight. Remember, game 3, Saturday, same time, 8:30. Duncan Robinson's back in. He is attacking the basket again. Trying to find Caleb Martin. So right now, Duncan Robinson, Caleb Martin, Victor Oladipo, Dwayne Dedman, and Tyler Hero. Fernando, I wouldn't do that trade. Here we go. Duncan Robinson. See if he shoots it. Three seconds. Oladipo. Air ball. So Jimmy getting some rest. And if it's not close, Jimmy should just rest it out. Pat Riley not happy. Bam Adebayo the bench as well. Field goal tonight. Boston 50%, Miami Heat 43%. Tyler Hero to Oladipo. He finds Deadman, who finds Caleb Martin. He misses. That one looks like an easy basket. The Heat is just not making shots tonight. Jalen Brown at the other end, making his own shot. So it's 173. Remember, as soon as this game's over, head to the post-op show here on the Fire Reasons YouTube channel. We're gonna have the analysis. Well, I don't know if analysis. They're gonna be bad. They're gonna be just complaining about the Miami Heat right now. All right, Al Horford back to Smart for 3, and he makes it. Oh my God, it's a 30-point game. Not good. Not good. The Celtics fans celebrating in Miami. This game's officially over, says K-Merc. Fernando Lopez says, well, going to be packing everybody up. Yeah, they're going to be trading anybody. That's the thing about the Heat fans. They're in the Eastern Conference Finals. They want to trade anybody. Jermaine says, so Alonzo Mourning's helping to guide Bam, has a big man, but he has none of those characteristics. Dude's soft as toilet paper. Smart tripled. Has a triple-double. Can we have a good shooting just for a series? We were on fire in the regular season. Yeah, I know. That's been one of the keys for this Heat team. I mean, they played better basketball at some points, but then they're missing so many open shots. Cedric says Kyrie is a bullfighter on defense. Tyler Hero, whatever. Okay. This team has one player, says Ricardo Sanchez. I don't agree. It's just a bad collective game. And it happens. It's happened before. The thing is, it happened away from Miami in the last series. Now it's happening in Miami. First, it's going to be the first loss for the Heat in these playoffs at home. They're shooting right now 8 for 27 from 3. Duncan Robinson 0 for 3. Oladipo 0 for 3. Hero 0 for 2. Vincent 4 for 8. He's saving. I mean, without Vincent, they're shooting 4 for 23 right now without Gabe Vincent. Max Drews 2 for 7. Tucker made his only 3 early in the game, the first basket of the game, and then he didn't shoot it again. He didn't have another shot there. Jimmy Butler 1 for 3. Not a lot to talk about. I mean, it's just good things. Not a game 7. That would be depressing if the game 7 is like that. Toss this game in the trash. On to the next one, Heat fans. Remember, as soon as the game's over, post-up show here on the Fire Reasons YouTube channel. You want to hear some good news tonight? We got to we're getting closer and closer to 18,500 subscribers. We are at 18,479 right now. So if you have not subscribed to our channel, this is the time to do so. Kevin Abreu, what's going on with Bam? Celtics are just hot tonight. Smart don't shoot like threes like that. Well, they're not hot. They're just unbelievable tonight. Let me see. Let me check those numbers. 16 threes, 16 for 30, 53% tonight. There's not a lot you can do against that. I mean, you have to shoot really well to get close to that. And Robinson stays in. I like it. I want to see some Duncan Robinson in minutes. So whenever we need him, he can get hot. He has to shoot it, though. All right. Bam Adebayo is sitting out. He's probably not playing the rest of this game. Udoka is not saying anything, though. He's keeping his players. All Horford. Deadman just gave him the shot. I don't know why. Those 2 easy points for Horford. Tyler Hero now. Tyler Hero back to Duncan Robinson. He has Horford on him. Drives to the basket again, and that's 2 points for Duncan Robinson. So his 4 points are attacking the basket, not actually shooting threes. So interesting. Marcus Smart to Pritchard. The Heat right now in zone. A little too late, but I guess it is what it is. Horford for 3, and he makes it another one. So those stats are just going to be unbelievable. 17 threes. 17. The Heat, not close to that. Tyler Hero. To his left, he attacks the basket. Good 2-pointer. 108-79 right now. 8 minutes left. Jaylen Brown spins, goes to his left, finds a spot, misses. Rebound for Detman. He has Tyler Hero to his right. Comes Hero, trying to go past Grant Williams, who fouls him. So the the Celtics. I did the same with the Hawks. I called the Sixers the Hawks for the first 2 or 3 games. Caleb Martin for 3. That's an air ball. Not even close. I would say just get Duncan those threes, not Caleb Martin. But it's fine. I mean, Martin has to play as well. And a foul now by Caleb Martin. When was the last time the Heat won an away game 3? Not in these playoffs. Not in the last playoffs. You have to. I mean, the bubble doesn't count. I guess. I don't know. We'll have to go back to it. Williams makes one of the 2, and here comes the Heat again. Tyler Hero. Duncan Robinson for 3. No, he finds Oladipo, and Oladipo makes a good play. Marcus Smart for another 3, and he makes it. These numbers are just not real. That's unbelievable. 18 threes tonight. Detman for Duncan. Kick out for Depot. He gets fouled by Pritchard. Now they're talking about no hitters right now on ESPN. That's how this game is. Oladipo makes the first, makes the second one, 83 points. $29 points for Butler, 14 for Vincent, 11 for Hero, 6 for Adebayo. The Celtics just having an unbelievable good 3.9, and that's another one for Jaylen Brown. This has been a show. 19 threes, 19 threes, 19 for 33, so 57%. Tyler Hero now gets blocked by Horford. And this looked like the Harlem Globetrotters. Here comes Duncan Robinson. He was going to get 2 easy points. He got fouled by Grant Williams. Omer, you're 7 going in. So no, we're not gonna see Bam again tonight. Deadman started this fourth quarter. He's done with 6 minutes left. Now Yurt 7 is going in. Duncan Robinson for 3. He misses. Good pass back to Caleb Martin. He misses too. The Heat are just not hitting threes. But they had to keep shooting. Marcus Smart for 3. Now they finally miss one. And again, that's fine. I mean, you have to let Marcus Smart shoot. That's fine. But the rest of the crew, it was not a good defensive game for the Heat. And it was not a good 3-point presentation for the Heat either. So the Heat shot 31 threes. They made only, so far, they've made 8. The Celtics, 19. So right there, you have a 33-point difference. And what's the difference right now? 30 points. It's right there. Pretty clear. Saturday night, we are traveling to Boston for game 3 of this Eastern Conference Finals, the Miami Heat and the Boston Celtics. 2 more points for Oladipo on the free throw line. 115-85. 30-point difference. And it's been all in the threes. 11 threes. It's a difference right now between the Heat and the Celtics. Pritchard for 2. He makes it. Highsmith is in as well. Oladipo spinning. He misses the ball. Pritchard finds Grant Williams. That's an easy put in. 119-85. Not a fun game to watch, but it is what it is. Boston is putting in his reserve players as well. Yurt 7 misses his shot. 119-85. That's a timeout for the subs to come in. Stauskas coming in. Mike Smith. A lot of players we haven't seen and we will not see in the rest of the series probably. Hopefully. So 119-85. Thank you to all of you that are hanging out with us until the last minutes. Heat are allowing too many threes. Yeah, we'll see if Erik Spoelstra makes any adjustments there. The same happened against the Sixers at some point, and in Atlanta as well. So, I mean, it's part of the game, I guess. But 19 threes, man, that's a lot. A lot of threes. Kuliwana, Rico, Baptista, thank you, Mateo, 1J, all of you, thank you. Fernando, Aston, thank you for staying until the end. Menteo, remember after the game, go to the post-game show, post-up show, hosted by our friend Royal Shepherd here on the Fire Reasons YouTube channel. No shots going in at all tonight. I felt like they should have attacked the rim more. Too many jump shots. Maybe, but I don't know. I mean, they shot, let me see. Talking about threes, the Celtics have shot 34. The Heat shot 30 right now. Only 26.7%. And Butler, I think he didn't play any minutes in the fourth quarter. I didn't see him, I think. I don't remember. I don't know if you guys remember. Brady Hawk, Heat defensively, off-ball switches have led into mismatches down low, leading into open threes. He's offensively, they're stalling a bit in terms of early process. Have to run multiple actions and relied on backside stuff. Not working tonight. So no Pepas tonight. Not Pepas night. We have more people now that we had in so many points of the game. Ronald Fonte says Celtics scored 11 more threes than the Heat. Yes, unbelievable. Never quit in a game. The Heat laid down and quit. I don't know if they quit, but it wasn't really close. Well, it was at 17 points in some point in the third quarter. They had a little run there, then a couple of plays, a call, another play here and there, and that was it. All right, last minutes of the game. What would you do for next game, for game 3? What would be your adjustment? Oladipo attacking the basket. He misses. That looked like a foul. Another rebound for Duncan Robinson. Duncan Robinson has done a lot of things that he's not supposed to do. Victor Oladipo for 3, and the Heat makes 1. Well. Duncan Robinson. For Caleb Martin for 3. Those 2 threes are going to pad up a little bit, pad the stats up a little bit. So, and Duncan is going to end up with like 11 or 12 minutes tonight because he played, I think, the full fourth quarter. It's going to be a 30-point difference game. Victor Oladipo now attacking. Back to Yurt 7. He makes those 2 points. I feel like we said the same thing about Bam a couple of off seasons ago. He needs to work on his jumper, and he did actually. But I don't know why he stopped getting more of those shots. Duncan Robinson with 2 more points. Well, tomorrow the Heat travels to Boston, and then they get a little shooter in, and then be ready for game 3. If PJ is out, who's in? Caleb Martin, maybe? That would be my guess. Caleb Martin. Or Oladipo. Oladipo could be an option too. Morris could be an option too. Morris is not playing tonight, though. He's not even getting these minutes. So, I don't know. The only way to see Bam at the 4 is if you have like him and Detman or him and Yurt 7 or something like that. So right now, 125.97. And right now, the bench is Oladipo 13 points, Robinson 6, Martin 5, Deadman 2. Robinson's actually going to end up with like 15 minutes. But most of that was here in the fourth quarter when it was already decided. So the Heat, they can actually make it to 100 points, believe it or not. It didn't look that way. But their defense was just not good. 127 now, 99. And we thought this was going to be a close series and a low scoring series. And it has been not a low scoring series so far. So we'll see if both defensive teams can get that better for next game.
Tremendous poise and confidence. And I agree. Cool, calm, and collected. What you see right now during the course of the game is the same guy you see in the back talking to him one-on-one. We asked him before game 1, how did you sleep? Or before game 7, I slept fine. That's who he is. Prepared and ready. And he's absolutely done an incredible job. You know, Stauskas obviously in some pain, going right back to the locker room. And I'll tell you what I think also is underrated for all the teams left playing right now.
All right, last minute of the game. Thank you guys for being here with us tonight. The Heat actually made it to 100 points, but this was not close. It was over in the fourth quarter. The Celtics are missing a couple of threes at the end, so those numbers are going to go down, but at some point, they made like 19 out of 30 or something. Oladipo for 3, air ball, and Duncan should have just shot that 3 that he had right there. All right. Well, thank you guys for joining us. It was not a fun experience, but we did have fun here talking about the game, and we hope to see you guys soon here. Remember, as soon as the game's over, we're gonna go. You'll never walk alone. Thank you, man. Thank you. I mean, it was a drag, but we did it. 127, 102, and that's gonna be game for tonight. The Celtics are gonna tie this game, and it's gonna be a great third game of the series there in Boston. We'll see you guys on Saturday. But remember, if you want to stick out for the post-up show, stay here. If not, we'll see you back tomorrow. Remember, we're gonna have a lot of content, some of the interviews, Erik Spoelstra and all the players here on the 5 Reasons YouTube channel, and all the content, the 5 on the Floor episode and everything also here on our channel. Have a good night, and we'll see you guys soon.